Hi, how is? We already have some people here today. What's up? Look at this. Antonio, Carlo, Christian. How are you guys doing? How is everybody, guys? We're going to do a nice live today. Talk about Milan, about Cagliari, about Pioli's new tactical system. We might have an appearance from Lart, Ari. We're going to do open lines. I want to hear what you guys got to say. Guys, I am not going to do any more reports on the news. I'm just not going to do any more reports on news. Like even today, I looked at the website with all the Milan reports, and I looked at them. And just every title is just sounds like bullshit to me. But I did see one report that was quite interesting, and the report was titled, "Should Pioli be considered a top coach because of what he did?" Well, we're going to discuss that. In the meantime, what is up, Antonio? Come va? Carlo, how are you doing, sir? Yes, sir. Christian, what's going on, my friend? Carlo, Dragan, how you doing, my friend? How's it going? Well, guys, it's going to be an interesting live. We have next two games are going to be the games that are going to decide whether or not this season was a good season or a bad season. It really comes down to that. Buonasera, Carlo. Buonasera. The whole thing can end on Sunday, but it could be extended all the way to when is the Cagliari game? Next Sunday. So, it ain't over. It ain't over. Oi, oi, oi. What's up? What's up? I'm Lord Krunic, Tommaso Romani. What's up? Forza Milan. Inter tomorrow is the only time I want you to win. If Inter win tomorrow, as you can see on the table, if Inter win tomorrow, Juventus stay at 72. Then Juventus is out of our way. Then Juventus is out of our way. We don't have to worry about them. And yes, Christian, if Lazio win all their games, can they push off Juve to 6? Right? Yeah, they can. So Lazio, as you can see, 67 points, 35 games. So they have one game less. So they have 9 points that they can fight for. This is, unfortunately, this is still quite open. It's still quite open. If Lazio wins all of 3 games, they move to 76 points, which definitely takes Juventus out of the equation, because if Juventus wins one more, if Juventus lose tomorrow and then win the last game, they go to 75 points. If Lazio wins all games, they go to 76 points. If now Napoli has this game against Fiorentina that is going to be, it's not going to be easy. Napoli have quite a task ahead of them. So if anything, Juventus can hope on a Fiorentina-Napoli tie. If Fiorentina-Napoli tie, maybe who knows how that's going to affect Juventus. As far as Milan goes, we just need to win. We just need to think about ourselves. We need to win. We mustn't give a crap about any other kind of situations. We have to win against Cagliari. So let's look at Cagliari. Cagliari is 15th, 36 points, 36 games. They are 5 points away from the relegation zone. Benevento is playing against, I don't know. We'll check who Benevento is playing against. But Cagliari is going to fight. Cagliari is going to come and fight. They're going to try and, I'm assuming Cagliari is going to try and play for a tie. I wonder if Cagliari might want to bring it to the last day in order to salvage their season. It's all to be seen. Christian says, Milan need a win. Yes, sir. We definitely need a win. I can't see Lazio winning 3 in a row. Never can I, but anything is possible. So, yeah, Milan has to win. If Inter win, they do us a favor. Let's look at the fixtures. Let's just look at the fixtures. Let's look at the fixtures. Okay. Fixtures and results. Let's see. What does Antonio say? Did you say the João Pedro news, right? No. I'm avoiding news right now, Antonio. I'm avoiding news. I'm staying away from the news. João Pedro is a great player, to be honest. Yeah, he is a great player, and we'll talk about that because there's a bunch of players that Cagliari has that are kind of dangerous. They have a bunch of players that we can watch out for, and players that potentially Milan could even look at and buy. They have João Pedro as João Pedro is going to Watford. Okay, all right. Good for him. Good for him. That's good for him. Cagliari has some other players too that are interesting. Obviously, they have the striker, the Pavoletti, whatever. They have Nandes, who is a very interesting right winger. Very interesting right winger. Of course, they have Nainggolan in the midfield, which is a very good midfielder, a fighter. Very similar to Kessie in his approach. Maybe not as a hard worker as Kessie, and maybe less of a team player than Kessie. Wait, that may be another job, and I'll get back to you. And then they have Godin in defense. Godin has a lot of experience, big games. He has a lot of big game experience. They have Cragno, that has been a goalkeeper that has been, very good. Okay, what is going on here? All right. So whatever Atalanta does against Genoa, well, let's hope Genoa can get something out of Atalanta. Spezia Torino is going to be a very important game, I guess, for both those teams. Benevento is playing Crotone. Okay. So look, we have 2 finals for relegation this weekend. We have 2 finals for relegation this weekend. That is pretty cool. Actually, no, Crotone is already out. But I guess Benevento is going to want to get that win and put pressure on Cagliari. Cagliari is going to be looking at this game. If Crotone can get some points, then Cagliari... Now, Cagliari, they're playing at the late game, and we are playing... we are playing the late game, and they're playing the early game. Okay, so they're going to play the early game. So Benevento Crotone is going to play the early game. If Benevento wins, that's going to put a little bit of pressure on Cagliari. So Cagliari is probably going to go in the game with a little bit more zest. If Crotone wins, then Cagliari is good. Then Cagliari will have achieved their objective of staying in the Serie A. So if whatever happens here, it's going to be very interesting. Should we? Maybe this is the one time that maybe we don't want to support Inzaghi, or maybe let's do this. Let's support Inzaghi, and then let's watch Milan win, so they all, everybody's happy. What's up, Saif? How you doing, my friend? Cagliari is a tricky team. Never even should have been a relegation battle, to be fair. We have to be careful. Yes, you're Saif. You see, Saif is very intelligent. He knows. Good job, Saif. And that's something that we are going to discuss. Cagliari is a very tricky team. And we can't take this game too lightly. We have to be very careful how we approach this game. And we're going to go through that. I already have I think the reports are already coming out. We already have an idea of how Pioli is going to play. And also, let's remember something, that when you have a winning team, a winning formula, you don't change. So it's going to be the same thing. Pioli is probably going to propose the same thing. We're going to go through that. But Cagliari, as Saif said, is a very tricky team. Very tricky team. And we're going to go through some of the reasons why we all think Cagliari is a very tricky team. Anyway, let's keep on going here. So Fiorentina-Napoli is going to be a very important game. If Fiorentina can get something out of Napoli. I mean, look, we have two ex-Milanisti, legends, Rino Gattuso and Benevento, that we don't want them to get results. But if they do get results and we get the result, then, we're happy. But obviously, the more we push away from whoever is underneath us is better for us. And again, whatever happens here between Benevento and Crotone is going to have a big psychological impact on how Cagliari is going to approach this game. So let's talk about Cagliari. First thing, I want to show you something about Cagliari, okay? So, one of the differences between Juventus and Torino was that with Juventus, we know exactly how they play, all right? Juventus has we've seen it. It's always kind of the same thing. The football, there's no chemistry. They rely on certain players. Pirlo will change it up every single time. Every time Pirlo is going to propose something new. So, that's it, just whatever. Now, when it came to Torino was one of the reasons why Torino was an easy game is because Torino has not changed its system from the beginning. Torino has been playing the same system since the beginning, since last season. Torino's been playing the same system for years now. They have not changed that 3-5-2, so you know exactly how they're playing. But now check this out. Cagliari is a little bit tricky because I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you why Cagliari is just a little bit trickier. And I'm going to show you right here. Look at this. Very interesting. Look at Cagliari's hold on, let me take this out. Look at Cagliari's formations, okay? So going back to February. Okay, they lost against Torino. They played a 3-4-1-2, 3-4-1-2, 3-4-1-2, 3-5-2, 3-5. So they played a lot of the system here, 3-5-2. But now, if you look at here, when they started gaining form, right? So look, win, tie, and then against us, now the next game, they started changing a little bit here, specifically in these last 4 games, right? They went with a 3-4-1-2. Then against Napoli, they played a 4-1-4-1. Then against Benevento, they played against a 3-4-1-2. And then against Fiorentina, they played a 4-2-3-1. I wonder if they played that 4-2-3-1 in order to, as a practice, because they're going to try to mirror us. And I think that is something that they're thinking. Maybe they're going to try to mirror us in how they're going to be playing. But also notice that whenever they played with 4 in the back, they did not get the result. When they played with 3 in the back, they got the wins. But when they played with 4 in the back, they didn't get the result. So it is quite interesting. It's going to be quite interesting how Milan is going to approach this game. It's not as cut and dry as it was against Torino. Now, my assumption is that based on these results, they're probably going to go with the 3 in the back. So either they're going to go with their 3-4-1-2, or they're going to mirror us exactly and try to play us man on man. And if they do that, honestly, as long as we play our game and we let our qualities shine, and the technical abilities of Milan come through, then it's fine. We have way more quality. We have way more goals. We have the system has been a winning formula for a long time. The players now have to win because they know that this is a do or die. This is the moment of the season where this is it. This is it. Either you're going to grab it and go to heaven, or you are not. So, it's one of those kind of situations. So, I really hope that the Milanisti, the fans, come out at Milano and just give a team one more, one more inertia of energy, and show them support, and they play this game and get this this qualification at San Siro at Milano. But as long as the team plays with its quality, as long as Brahim Diaz, gets his space, Çalhanoğlu gets his space, Salamakers will play, Rebic is going to play up top. It's going to be the same formation, pretty much. It's going to be the same formation. So, and I'm going to do a tactical analysis of this game, and I'm going to put it out tomorrow. But let's just look at the formation really fast, at what we are expecting to see. All right, here we go. Okay, so we have the formation is probably going to look like this. Well, this was so we're going to have Salamakers back. Now I'm thinking he's probably going to keep the same exact defense, because at this point the defense is solid as a wall. There's absolutely no reason to make any changes. Now, the option here is going to be either Mete or Tonali. In my opinion, guys, and I wonder what you guys think, in my opinion, he's going to go for Mete. I think he's going to go for Mete, and Mete just to compensate for the quality that they have with João Mario, with Nainggolan, Nandes, and they have all these other players that are very technical. So having two, defensive midfielders kind of makes sense, right? It makes sense, and also because Mete is good at intercepting and then sending out the players for the for the counterattacks. And also Mete is pretty decent at covering the ball. If Mete wasn't there, it would have been Benacer. I'm pretty sure he would have went with Benacer. But I think Mete is the right decision. As far as Tonali goes, Tonali could also be the right call. Tonali did just get an injury. Also him being younger. But I think that Tonali's up for the task. He would be up for the task. I think Pioli is going to go for Mete. The same Mete that played against Manchester United, that played a great game too. Yes, Benacer is. I'm pretty sure Benacer is out. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Benacer is got a yellow card and he's suspended for this next game. Let me see. I don't want to be giving out fake information here. Interesting question. You think that in the long run, one of Kessie, Benacer is going to settle to not be a starter on the basis that they have great? You know what? I honestly think that once the Champions Leagues, if we get in the Champions League, when we get it, as soon as we get into that Champions League, having those three midfielders is going to be very important, because we're going to have games on Sunday. We're going to get big games during the week and the Champions League. And, it's going to be a rotation. I don't know who's going. If someone is going to, obviously, you're going to have your first two, your first two. But the third guy is not really going to be seen as a bench player. I don't think so. I don't think we can afford to do that. All three of them need to be pretty much just as good as they would all be starters. And also, it is an option that Pioli can use and have all three of them, depending on the game, depending on the tactics that will be required. But yeah, we will need all three of them at the top of their form, for sure. But anyway, going back to this game, And guys, please correct me if I'm wrong about Benacer. I'm pretty sure Benacer got a yellow card and he was on the suspension list, and now he's suspended for this game. But anyway, honestly, Kessie Mete against Cagliari to me makes sense. I don't see why they would struggle that much. I mean, one thing that we got to also watch out about Cagliari is that their form, they're going through a really good form right now. And they have these moments where if you've watched Cagliari's games, these last games, they've been scoring and playing some really nice football, to be honest with you. So this game is probably going to be more difficult than Juventus and than Torino. But again, it doesn't really matter. As long as we play our game and we let our quality shine and we go in there with conviction, with fire, with the desire to take this home, with the desire to go to finally reach the objective, then we should be fine. Let's look at this new setup that Pioli is using. So quite interesting. And we called it out against the Juventus game. We said that Pioli was probably going to have Calabria stay back. And I remember we said that against, at least we speculated that he was going to do that against Juventus because of the quality that was on his side. And also same thing with Torino. All the quality was on this side, so it made sense for Calabria to stay back. But I think he literally has adopted that as a new solution. So basically what Milan does is when everybody is behind the ball, so defending behind the ball, they look like this. They look like this. And this is what the team looks like when everybody is behind the line of the ball. So let's say they have a team. This is what the team looks like. All right. And then you have the one player that is ready to get into space and connect here. But now Milan has a new system when it comes to attacking, which is very interesting. Basically what happens, you have Salamakers that comes here and does a lot of work. Salamakers kind of chases the ball. And we'll go through that in a second. We have Diaz, we have Chala going all the way up, and we have Theo going all the way up. So basically what Milan does when they move up the field, Tomori goes in this position here, Chiara goes in the middle, and Calabria goes here. And it becomes a line of three, a diamond, where they use the central midfielder to spread the ball and just keep on going the filter. And they use this space right here they slow down the game a lot, and they use that space to pass the ball around and wait for Theo to get in position to move up the field, for Diaz to come in and be the outlet for Salamakers. And once the ball pretty much goes on this side of the field, you see Çalhanoğlu move in the middle. Diaz and Çalhanoğlu and Kessie pretty much create this triangle. And also Benacer was part of, it was more of a square with Benacer, really. So I'm assuming, and same thing will happen with Mete. So they create some sort, it's like a diamond here, and then you have Rebic that interacts with all the line, Salamakers is not going to attack the goal so much on this side. Rather, Salamakers is going to come inside the field like he usually does and just creates the dialogue. It's almost like the formation is 3-1 and then it's a free-for-all. But there is some order because Theo is always going to be coming from this side. So he always stays there because as soon as Theo loses the ball, he has to go back. So he always has to stay on this side. Kessie kind of roams and changes positions. Çalhanoğlu changes positions with Diaz. You will see Diaz interact with Salah. Calabria will come forward, but you won't see much of Calabria coming up anymore. At least this is what he did against Torino. I think he's going to do the same thing against Cagliari. I think it's going to be the same thing. Let's see. I'm hyped, Roy. Nice. Hey, Roy, it's me, Golden Boy. How are you? Did you get ready to sing the Champions League? Yes, sir, I am. I'm very ready. He did get a yellow, but I don't think he was on the list. Plus, I see on that site, Milan News, they put him on the... Oh, okay. All right. Okay, guys. Never mind. So I'm spreading fake news. I am spreading fake news. So that means that Benacer is most likely going to be playing. And if Benacer plays, then yeah, he's going to pretty much be taken care. So basically, Benacer is going to be the tip of the diamond over here, while Kessie makes these moves. Now, I wonder if honestly Benacer is the right choice. To be honest with you, for this game. Anyway, I'm going to do a video on Cagliari and how Cagliari is usually set up, and I'm going to put that out tomorrow. And I'm going to, pretty much say who I think, which players should stop which player. Honestly, I'm going to say this right now. Cagliari has a very interesting player called Nandes that plays in this area right here. So Nandes, a lot of goals and this guy is a dribbler. He's like a proper winger. He's a proper winger that can dribble and can put the crosses in. He can score. So having Çalhanoğlu and Tomori and Theo take care of this wing gives me a lot of confidence that wing will be closed. Also because it's going to be very important to close this wing. Nandes is probably their most dangerous player. The other wing, there's not much offense coming in from the other wing. And you have João Mario in the middle that can create some problems. And again, you have Nainggolan. So it's almost like the last two games, the danger areas was on Calabria's side, but this game, the danger area is on Theo's side. So we'll definitely have to, whatever Pioli does, he definitely has to have countermeasures for whatever Cagliari brings. But we do know that Cagliari is going to attack mostly from this side, from the left side, because that's what they do. So yeah, it's going to be pretty good. I think Rebic in the middle, perfect, no problem. Kessie coming in, Salah, Diaz. They're probably going to stop. They're probably going to put Nainggolan on Diaz. But as long as Diaz can interact with Kessie, Çalhanoğlu, and Benacer, that's a lot of quality, guys. If you look at this side of the field right now, that's a lot of quality. That's like a lot of quality. These are players that don't lose the ball often. But it's going to be a game of character. It's going to be a game of personality, and it's going to be a game of character. This is going to be one of the most difficult games as far as pressure goes, because the pressure is on. You're on San Siro, a stadium that hasn't been kind to you all season, at least all half of the season, and you're playing a game that could literally write your destiny. Donnarumma has been asking to see if Milan going to be in Champions next season to renew the contract, and now he still asking for only 2 years. What do you think about this? For me, now I had enough. Now, honestly, guys, I'm not even going to talk about Donnarumma and contracts and that kind of stuff. To me, right now, talking about that stuff is so irrelevant, because we don't know if it's true, first of all. It's most likely just newspapers trying to sell clickbait. And it destabilizes the team. Right now, all the team needs to think about is football, is the pitch. All the fans need to focus on is these games. Donnarumma is Milan throughout, and this Sunday Donnarumma has to come through. I like Maignan better than Donnarumma. I'll be honest with you. I do not know Maignan so well. I don't know him that well, so I can't really have too much of an opinion on Maignan. But I'm pretty sure that if Maignan is someone that Milan is going after, it's probably very good. Sunday is for everyone who was heartbroken for that 1-point season. It's for everyone who witnessed the Benevento humiliation. Can't wait for some of the players jumping and, who knows, crying maybe. Yes, sir. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Sunday is going to be an incredibly. I think Sunday is going to be very difficult. I think Sunday is going to be a very difficult game, but I hope that it's not going to be as difficult as I am anticipating. I hope that it's going to be a little bit easier than what I am anticipating. But I'm just looking at. I'm being very logical, guys. I'm being very logical here, and I study and I observe soccer a lot, and even Saif, this game is potentially more difficult than the Juventus game, than the Torino game, potentially even more difficult than the Atalanta game, simply because of the meaning of the game, simply because of the opposition and where they are. Actually, let me show you something. I want to show you something about Cagliari. Let me show you something about Cagliari. Let's see. I'm going to show you what Cagliari's form for the whole season looks like. Let's look at the forms of these teams, because it's quite interesting to see the form of the teams, and Milan, Atalanta, Cagliari, etc., etc., etc. All right. But where my confidence comes in is in the quality of the players, in the desire of the club to reach its objective. This season that has been a roller coaster of a season, the season that has been arguably one of the best seasons I have ever followed as a Milan fan. Because it's been such an exciting season, right? It's been a season of renaissance. It's the first time in so many years, I'm talking about many years, guys, maybe a decade, that I felt, and many of you guys felt, many of the Milan fans felt, that Milan, that spirit is back. We feel the spirit of Milan. Like it's coming back. It's coming back, and it's coming to stay, and it's coming to take what it wants. The beast is waking up. The giant is waking up, and it's ready to put itself back in the mix of the European elite and going all the way for that trophy. And I think I felt it. I think a lot of us feel it. A lot of us see it. So this season is definitely such a special season, and we have to. They can't stop here. We have to take this season now by the balls. This is the point where we now take the season by the balls and go to the next phase. All right, site is not working. But so. Yeah, I wonder. I'm very curious to know what you guys think about this upcoming game. Again, I'll say it again. I'm going to do an in-depth tactical analysis of this game and put out a video of it tomorrow, with which players I'm going to put down all the players that Cagliari are most likely going to be playing. I'm going to show you which are the most danger areas, which are the areas Milan has to take care about, and if Milan just stop, basically, when it comes to Pavoletti is a header. Pavoletti scores his goals with his head. He's a one-tap player. He's a number 9. So, as long as Tomori and Kjaer are focused and stay on him, as long as Tomori, Chala, and Theo stay on Nandes, as long as Kessi and Benacer or whoever that other midfielder is, takes control of João Mario and Nangolan, and as long as we keep the ball and we create, and guys, the difference between this game and the Torino game is this, all right, is this. Cagliari is going to attack more than Torino, all right? Cagliari is going to bring out more players than Torino. So that means, what does that mean? Counterattacks. And if we can get a few counterattacks in and get a few goals on the counterattack, that defense can't stop us, not on the counterattack. If we are, as long as we're in sync and we're all doing the right thing and everybody's in the right position, that defense can't stop us on the counterattack. If they play 3, that means that we'll be facing a diamond in counterattack. If we face a diamond in counterattack, it's as easy as eating pie. If it's a line of 4, a little bit more difficult, but still a lot of space to exploit. All right, let's see. It's not even going to go on the Cagliari game. Inter will get points from Juve, and we're just going to need 1 point against Cagliari. If Inter beats Juve, don't even need to beat Cagliari. Yeah, sure. If Inter beats Juve, that's great. I have no fear Cagliari's not going to stop our party. Yes, sir. I like that. Bravo, Carlo. Bravo. Andiamo, ragazzi. All right. Let me see if this thing is opening or not. Yeah, guys, so I'm going to open up the lines pretty soon, and we can have some one-on-ones and maybe even get some other people up. I think we might have some people making an appearance later. Let's just hope we do not do a Sampdoria Udinese and that we break down Cagliari fast. Yes, Saif. Exactly, Saif. Exactly. Sampdoria Udinese. You know, those were these cagey games where we didn't get the tactics right. And we see what happens when we don't get the tactic right. But I don't see us getting them wrong. Honestly, I don't see how Pioli can mess this up. The system works. The system is there. And honestly, all you got to do with these players, Chala, Theo, Kessi, Diaz, Salah, Rebic, and Benacer coming in, I mean, you don't even have to tell them so much what to do. They're just going to do it on their own. You know, they're going to do it on their own. They're definitely going to do it on their own. Now, one of the problems about those games like Sampdoria and Udinese, one of the differences between Sampdoria and Udinese is that against those teams, we played with the classic 4-2-3-1. Right? We played with this classic formation. And those kind of games, we are depending, at that time, Milan was playing both fullbacks line to line, and they were relying too much on these crosses and then basically leaving a whole lot of space open here. But as we've analyzed, that's not going to be happening anymore right now. This is smart. This is intelligent. This is very intelligent. Basically, what Pioli has done, he's created a hybrid formation. It's a hybrid formation. It's one formation when we defend, but then it morphs into another formation when we attack. And the way we attack prevents counterattacks. Because what? Because we have Calabria on this side, we have Cagliari in the middle, and we have Tomori on this side. If all of us get caught up here, then we have, now we have a diamond. We have a diamond to cover, which is better than the pyramid. Okay, so imagine there's a big difference between defending a counterattack with a pyramid than a diamond. Defending a counterattack with a diamond is definitely much easier, but it also depends on the quality of your opposition. This defense can take care of the quality of our opposition, all right? So it shouldn't be a problem. All right. Let's see. Sempre Milan, I'm on the celebration mood into CL already. Nice, Conrad. Awesome. Guys are going to be super hungry on Sunday. There's no way in this world Cagliari will stop us from attacking 90 minutes. We just need to put the ball in the net first half and everything will be easy. Yes. No, I agree. I agree. Milan has to get in this game with full focus and full determination. But I'm also hoping that the fans have been helping Milan outside of the stadium. Like the fans were there against Juventus. The fans were there when we won that big game against Lazio. The derbies, even though one of them didn't go, the last one didn't go great, but the fans can definitely just remind the players what they're fighting for. So, as strange as it sounds, I'm hoping the fans come out again and just remind the players what they're fighting for, and just give them that extra little bit of energy, that extra little bit of determination and fight. We also saw how Tomori got sometimes dominating the air. He needs to be careful versus. Yes, exactly. He needs to be very careful against Pavoletti. Pavoletti is better than the strikers that we faced on Sunday. Sorry, against Cagliari on Torino against Wednesday, but he's not better than Morata and definitely not better than Ronaldo. I mean, nobody can head that ball better than fucking Ronaldo. So they completely close Ronaldo off. If they can close Ronaldo, they can close Pavoletti easily. Diaz will definitely get so easy through the shit. Cagliari defense also is the man on form, and I know for sure he'll create at least 3 good chances. Yeah, for sure. He has the ability. He definitely has the ability. Supposedly they're playing Curva Su chance during war. Yeah. The fans need to show their support. This is a game where the fans need to be there. Need to show their support. Tomori has been dominating the air recently. He will get better. Chiara will help him. Guys. I mean, again, if Chiara and Tomori can stop Morata and Ronaldo, they can stop freaking Pavoletti and Gian Mario. But Cagliari is a little bit more informed than Torino. All right, guys, we're going to open up the lines. I just wanted to show you one more thing before I open up the lines. And let me just get... All right, here we go. Okay, one more thing, and guys, then we're going to open up the lines. Here we go. Stop screen. All right. So let's look at the form. Safe says, Roy, why are we so bad with set pieces, especially corners? Don't we practice that well in training? Well, I don't know, man. I mean, they should practice that stuff in training. These last 2 games, Milan's defense has been pretty perfect. Honestly, what worries me about Cagliari, not so much of the set pieces, is more of they have moments of magic. Cagliari right now has moments of magic. They're sort of okay, guys. Let's look at the form. I want you to see the different form of these teams. I mean, just look at Inter's form. I mean, that is insanely positive for that team. I mean, look at that. Look at all these green little pyramids. From day 17 to day 36, they only gained points. They did not lose. They only lost what? 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 points. They only lost 8 points from 17 to day 36. And then from day 5 to day 15, they only lost 4 points. I mean, you can't say Inter doesn't deserve to win this freaking Scudetto. And I thought Inter and Juventus were the 2 teams that were the most equipped to win the Scudetto. Okay, then you have Atalanta with 5 losses. Atalanta from day 27 to day 36, very good form. Then you have Milan. Milan had an incredible form from day 1 to day 15. Then day 16, we lost. Then we had 2 victories, lost 2 victories, 2 losses in a row. Then we had 3 games in which we got points, lost 2 points, 1 loss. Then we had a decent spell of form here. Then we had this run here. And then now we are on an uptrend. We're trending upwards. So 3 wins, 3 very big wins. Let's look at Cagliari. All right, Cagliari, it's all fucking red. Look at Cagliari. Well, it's all red. All red, but just here, right here, towards the end of their season, they're starting to pick up form. And this is why we got to be careful with Cagliari. I mean, let's look at Torino. Torino wasn't a team that had a lot of consistent form. Different story. But Cagliari, look at the form there. Cagliari right now is going through a good spell of form, but I don't think good enough to stop us. No way. Absolutely no way. All right, let's open up the lines, guys. Let's have you guys come in. Let me know take it off your chest. Let me know what you think about the game on Wednesday, what you think about the games coming up against Cagliari. the game against Juventus, the Serie A, whatever you want. All right. I'll just do one at a time, guys. Whoever wants to come up, you're more than welcome to share your opinions, to tell everybody how you feel, what your sensations are. Aha! Here we go. Let me make sure I can hear you. What's up, Antonio? Oh, there you go. I can't hear you. Hold on. Talk.
Yeah, can you hear me?
All right, here you go. Go ahead.
You got me now?
1 second. Okay, what's up, my man? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What's up? I just want to say, thanks for having me again. I really like the channel. I'm feeling good about the season and
Good.
Excited for this game. And, it's going to be part of this community. So, yeah, I have a lot of things to talk about. So I'm excited.
Nice. Good. All right. Go ahead. Start.
So the first thing I want to talk about was like our recent play style, like something that I've noticed. I have to give credit to Pioli because at first I didn't think that he could really make significant changes to the way we play. But now that I've seen like us kind of change style and adapt, we've looked so much more fluid as a team. Our transition from defense into attack is just amazing. We're not conceding goals. I mean, I know it's only 2 games, but it's really important. And then I've also like the main difference that I've seen is that we're less like attack minded and we're more like conservative in the game, and we know how to kind of counter. So that's something that I actually I like that, and I like how Pioli is able to adapt and kind of change things up.
Yeah, no, he did. Right now, he definitely did the right thing in how he changed the setup of the team when the team has the ball. It definitely makes sense. It's a balancing act because he's obviously was looking for what was hurting the team, the spaces that were hurting the team, and he found a way to cover that. It's sacrificing Calabria a little bit. We're going to see a little less of Calabria magic moments, but we're going to see probably more Milan magic moments. I think he did the right thing. Now, I do want to say something because something came to mind right away, all right? And I was reading a Sempre Milan article saying that is Pioli now a top coach because of his new system? I'm like, come on. Man, let's go easy with the top coach thing. Pioli is doing a good job. He's very smart these last 2 games. But again, for me to consider Pioli a top coach, he has to be the best.
Right. To be a top coach, you have to win something. So let's win first. Let's win a trophy, and then we'll talk. But I do think that I criticized him before because we kept the same 4-2-3-1 system, same players in the same roles throughout the end of last season, beginning of this season. And yeah, we did well. We got injured and we had to kind of eventually adapt because teams will start to recognize the way you play. You get tired. So you got to change players, change things. The best coaches, in my opinion, are more adaptive. I know there are some that stick with the same formation, but I think it's almost impossible to keep the same formation all the time. So I'm very happy with Pioli, and I'm happy that he's taking formation risks. And I think in the future that this will make him more confident to change things in the future. And I was going to talk about something about formations maybe next season, but a bit later. But yeah, I just want to talk about what's going on now first. So I'm excited about that. About Calabria, what you were talking about, I think he scored, I believe, in the regular in Serie A. I think he scored like one goal, or did he score maybe 2? But so he
I think he's up to 2. Yeah, 2 goals.
Yeah, maybe 2. I think I don't really mind that. I know when we were playing like really well, Calabria was always attacking and we were creating so many chances. But I think like the way recently you saw Calabria against Chiesa, for instance, on Juventus, you saw the defending, the work that he's done on that right side has been so valuable, and it's better. Like, we haven't conceded any goals in these past 2 games, so I think it's better to have Hernandez be pushed up and have Calabria stay back. So I like to defend, I think that's a smart decision.
Yeah, it is. It is, and it's paying off, but let's also remember not to play devil's advocate, but let's also remember this: if we can see how Milan is playing, our opponents can see how Milan is playing. So they're going to start coming up with countermeasures and all that kind of stuff. So I'm curious to see what happens when they do, because right now Cagliari, I'm pretty sure Cagliari knows how Milan is playing. And as I showed you before in that list, Cagliari's been changing formation these past 4 games. They played 4 different formations. I wonder what their countermeasures will be. But at this point, I don't even think it comes down to countermeasures. I think it comes down to quality. The team with the most quality is the team that is going to win.
Yeah, like just about Cagliari, like I think, like you said, quality is going to be very important. I think Pioli has to now start adapting mid-game, maybe. Like, you start off and maybe start a bit conservative, see if Cagliari starts attacking you. Like Torino, I noticed in the first half, they were just sitting back. They were playing kind of compact. But then once Hernandez scored that goal, I knew that was huge because they were defending. And then they just exposed themselves and we dominated them. So I think you have to kind of react to the way that your opponent is playing. So I hope that either they play if they want to attack us, I hope they do, because I think Rebic is a better player in the transition. I think Hernandez is a better player in the transition. I think that's
sure, 100%. And Cagliari is going to attack more than Torino for sure, because Cagliari has more quality players. So Cagliari is definitely going to attack more than Torino, and they're going to leave a lot of space. They're going to leave a lot of space in their own half. And if we have space, nobody can stop us.
Yes.
I think, honestly, guys, I'm going to say this right now, right here. And I know many people are not going to agree with me. They're going to think I'm fucking crazy or something. But honestly, I think this team right now could beat any team in Europe. All right, on the day. I think this team can beat Manchester City. I think this team can beat PSG. I think this team could beat any fucking team. So, it comes down to the day. But I think next year, that is even more true. Because next year, all these players that we're calling youngsters, Hernandez, 23, Kessi, 23, Calabria, 23, Gigio, 22. Next year, they're going to be 1 year older. All right? If you're 24, you're not a youngster anymore. You're not a youngster anymore. And these players next year it's going to be the beginning of their next phase in their careers as far as age goes. And when you're 24, you have no excuses against who you're playing. So I think this team is ready. This team is ready to play against the best teams in the world. It comes down to the personality. It comes down to the mind. It comes down to the character. It comes down to the subtle choices a coach will make. But technically, who are we fucking scared of? Who should we be scared of?
Right. I agree, like 100%. We are so ready for the Champions League, and we can definitely play against the top teams. I think the big bad Manchester United was so scary, and we went into the first game. I think the first game we dominated them personally. I think Kessi's goal should. Second game, yes, our offense was horrible because we had to play Castillejo at number 9, and that was a mess. But
true.
So yeah, I think, but definitely at least the first game, I was so happy to see like us play against a good team like that, and I think we're definitely ready for the Champions League. I don't know about winning it, but you never know. Milan has that DNA, so it's exciting.
I honestly, I mean, like I don't really exaggerate. I always try to be as objective and as logical as possible. I never try to go above because it's not my style. It's not who I am. But I don't see why this Milan couldn't make it into a semifinal, even next year already. I don't see why they couldn't make it into the semifinals of the Champions League and maybe even go all the way.
Well, Roy, I think a big part of that will be our off-season transfers, and also we need to bring more depth into the team because of injuries. In order to compete with these huge teams, you got to have a deep bench, and we have to kind of improve in that sense, and also
Right.
get some better quality in some positions, I think. But yeah,
no, for sure, and that's why I'm saying next season.
yes,
like this season, honestly, on the day, I'm not saying we can win the Champions League, and I'm not saying that 10 out of 10 Milan is going to beat Manchester City, but on the day this Milan can beat a Manchester City. On the day this Milan can beat a PSG, can beat a Real Madrid, can beat a Barcelona. On the day, today,
right.
In 2 years, probably not on the day, but most days. Like this is the trajectory I'm seeing. And again, if you would have asked me this 3 years ago, I would have said, "Fuck no." Are you crazy? We would get demolished. If you would have asked me this 5 years ago, I would have said, fuck no. Like, I'm being realistic. I'm seeing what I'm seeing, and I'm just putting calculations together.
Right. Yeah. I think to compete with some of these really good teams. I'm not saying like they're not that special. Like they're not that much better than us, is what I'm saying. But they're consistent and they move the ball around very quickly. So I think if we gets a bit more precise in that sense, we keep playing, we keep growing. I think we can start perfecting our team like that and start kind of speeding up our play. Yeah,
and we already have this kind of international way of playing because it's, as you said, it's part of the DNA, whatever, and all that good stuff. But once you play in the Champions League, once you play in that speed and that you adapt. You adapt and you just adapt. You figure it out, and then it's natural. You just know how to do it.
Yeah, I think that relates exactly to the Manchester United game, because as soon as the game started, I was like, oh my gosh, they're running like crazy. Like the first game in Manchester, they were sprinting around because that's how they play, super fast paced. But like I was watching how we responded to that, and it was amazing. Like Dalot, Mate, those players responding like at that high speed, and they played very well in Manchester. So I was very happy with the way we played.
Yeah, when it comes to the Manchester games, the first one we totally showed them that we were the superior technical team. Okay, technical team.
Yes.
But we didn't have Ibra. This is where the depth comes in. We didn't have like a striker. The Kessie goal should have been a goal.
Rebic was hurt too.
Rebic was hurt. I think Leao was playing center forward, if I'm not mistaken, in that first game.
Yes.
And Leao as a center forward all season has just not been good at all. So, but from the defense to the midfield and to the wingers and the attacking midfielder, we were the most technical team. We were keeping the ball. We're maneuvering through them like a hot knife through butter. And in San Siro, it wasn't that different. In San Siro, though, you could see that Manchester United physically was better. They were physically better, and then they had Pogba come in. They had Cavani come in, especially that Pogba move where Solskjaer, I think, outsmarted Pioli. All right, like I'm gonna say this again. Look, Antonio. Let me say this, and then I want you to talk. I have experience coaching. Okay, a lot. Okay, I'm not just saying any coach. I'm telling you, if I was the coach and I put Pogba in, and after 5 minutes, he scores a goal in the position I put him in, I'm high-fiving myself. Like that's a goal that the coach scored pretty much. And if I'm on the other side, if I'm the coach on the receiving end, I'm thinking, fuck, this guy fucked me. So Solskjaer outsmarted Pioli. But of course, Manchester United has more depth and more quality. Yeah.
Right. I will add a couple things to that. Number one, I agree that the Pogba move, of course, but even besides the goal, it was a big on the game because Pogba, like in the attacking phases of the game, kind of was very hard for us to deal with. I think, I also would want to say that I don't even think it was Solskjaer by himself. He's got all these little like extra coordinators that help him with his tactics. And he's more of a man manager, but
You bring up a good point. It comes down to the whole coaching staff and the whole coaching, technical area. And this is where we saw Pioli had his limitations. Kengu, I'm not sorry. One thing, Kengu, I'm not saying Milan is a better team than Manchester United, but technically Milan is better than Manchester United. because we saw it. But as far as Manchester United as infrastructure, as where they are in preparation, they're more advanced. They're definitely more advanced.
Finances as well.
Finances, and they have superstars, and they have the tradition. They have all of that good stuff. But Milan is not an inferior team to nobody. Right now.
Also, I just wanted to add the fact that they could bring in Pogba off of the bench just shows, and we brought in, I believe, Ibra came in as well, but Ibra was injured and just one like Pogba, in that sense, they have a better bench than us, so that was a huge.
Yeah, no doubt, and Pogba is and maybe Pogba is one of the best midfielders in the world too. So not only they have Pogba, but they have probably one of the best midfielders in the world. So that game to me, it showed me that we are ready. We are ready, man. The team is ready. All we need is just a few little things here and there, and we are ready.
I think we absolutely dominated for Bruno Fernandes, except he had that one assist that was very good. But the second game he was pretty bad, and their offense didn't create much. They just had Pogba. They scored off of our mistake. So I think that we have to be proud of the way we played.
Yeah, and I don't want to say it was a mistake, but it's also Pogba had an excellent little play there, and also you said Bruno Fernandes. That Bruno Fernandes, that pass he did. I mean, we can't say it came out of nowhere.
Great pass.
That was a great pass. But whatever. I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all about Champions League, about any of that.
On another day, I think we could have gone through, especially if Kessie's goal stood. That's the main thing I'm trying to take away is that we played a great game, and we compared to Roma, some other teams in the Europa League, you saw the difference there. Man United have bullied other teams. We actually they're the favorites to win they've been the favorites to win the competition. We fought very hard.
We didn't embarrass ourselves at all. No, not even close.
Yep.
Not like Roma. Roma is a mess. Every time Manchester United plays Roma, Manchester United scores 6-7 goals. It's like a tennis match. I mean, what an embarrassing team Roma is.
I think they're going through a bad part of the year. Of course, Fonseca, they announced that he's going to be sacked. I'm not a fan of announcing that in mid-season because it kind of ruins your season. They have a lot to play for still, so.
Yeah, they do. Let me ask you. So, what did you think about the last game?
The Torino game. So obviously I talked about the way we play. I love the way we play. I don't know. It's a bit too early to judge how good we are because we've only played 2 games. But against Juventus and Torino, same sort of tactics worked out great. So I'll keep it going. But I thought we played. At first, scoring the first goal was huge. Oh, you got kicked out. Oh, wait. Roy got kicked out for a bit. But I was just saying I think the way we played was very smart. After Hernandez scored the first goal, which is a tough goal that we scored, that was huge. We did a good job, and that kind of changed the game because then they started to attack us, and we just counterattacked them and took them apart. So I think that we played I think after you scored the first goal, it changes the game completely, and we were just able to keep doing the same thing, and then they just gave up. And I honestly, you saw their bench had Belotti and Sanabria, so you kind of had a feeling that they weren't going to try.
Yeah, I'm back. I think there's a Manchester United hacker that hacked me out of my system here. Sorry. You were talking about this.
Yeah, so I was just saying.
Again, so I'm going to set up my other thing. Go ahead.
Right. So I was just talking about how after Hernandez scored, which by the way, I am so happy that Hernandez is getting back to his form because he was kind of silent the second half of the season, and having him scoring goals is just great. And so, yeah, after he scored that goal, that kind of changed the course of the game because once you scored one, you could kind of they had to take the risk, and therefore we can just counterattack them. So I think we played a very smart game. And the thing is, though, I don't know if Torino was fully invested in the game because on their bench, I saw Bellotti, Sanabria, like a lot of their starting players. So it's kind of a weird situation, but we played great. So
no, Torino wasn't thinking about that game at all. They had they literally had all their starters on the bench because the next game that Torino is playing is going to be the game of the season for them. It's going to be the game that.
Oh, it happened again. You were prepared this time. Here.
I was prepared. Torino is going to definitely focus on the next game more so than this last game.
What do you think?
Go ahead.
I was just going to ask about a player on Torino. What do you like, Singo? What do you think about him?
Singo is interesting. He didn't really show much against us. This season has kind of been a breakout through season for him. He's been interesting. Out of Torino, the only player I would get is Bellotti. All the other players.
I think Cairo, he might overprice. He's kind of like he overprices a lot of Torino players. So I think I don't think it'd be worth getting Singo, but he's 20 years old and he looks like he's very fast. So he has some potential. But
he definitely has potential. He's an interesting player, and at that young age, imposing himself in the Serie A is definitely not an easy task. Cagliari actually has more interesting players, and you'll see they have some interesting players.
I heard you talk about Nandes, and I also like him a lot. He looks very interesting. He scored some crazy goals. So
Nandes is a very interesting player. Definitely a player that can that could probably be an upgrade from Salamakers as far as offensive football goes.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I don't know. I just want to address a real quick thing that Sami said. We outplay Man U for sure, but to say that we're better than them is wrong statement. Atalanta plays most everybody, that doesn't mean that they're better. I don't think Milan is not better than Manchester United. I said Manchester United is definitely more advanced, more. They're already a Champions League team. We're not. But technically, I was saying that we showed to not be inferior to them, and I don't think we're inferior to anybody.
I think just to build, I agree. You can't say Milan is a better team at the moment than, of course, Manchester United is bigger. They've been consistently in the Champions League, qualifying these past years. They have more finances. They have better players with better quality. But I also think that Milan, like we talked about, is ready for playing against these teams. And I think that Milan, I look at players like Rebic who have a lot of quality that people don't really recognize. And I think if they just are more consistent, we can keep showing that we do have some quality. So I think I think that's a good point.
I mean, we played with Mate in the midfield against Manchester United. Mate played a great game. He was amazing.
You know what I was going to say? One of the things I wanted to talk about was Mate, because I think people are overlooking him because he hasn't gotten much too many chances to play recently. I'm telling you right now, unless you find unless you go and buy somebody who's maybe more expensive, I would buy him for $8 million. He's 26 years old. I think Mate against Man United, of course, that was great. But then also I see against Sassuolo, while he was playing, we were winning 1-0. I thought he had a solid game. He made a lot of interceptions and he was playing well. And then I also saw against Torino, when he came on against Torino, of course he had that pass to Leao, which everyone knew, recognized. But I saw a lot of situations where he was dribbling players.
Before you go forward, not only he had the pass, but he intercepted the play, got the ball into space, and then made the pass. So he stole the ball, intercepted, and then passed the ball. So he had a very good game.
Yeah, and he is really physically strong, and he can dribble too. So I think he's bigger than Kessie, I believe. So yeah, he's very interesting.
Yeah, no, that's his quality is playing, in that deep line midfielder, defensive midfielder. And you're right, he can shield the ball. He has the dribble in small spaces to get out of situations and then outlet the ball to whoever's on his side or forward. He has these qualities. Now I'm just thinking about what Milan is thinking, and maybe Mete can get in the mix, but it's going to be very difficult for Mete to prove himself to be, to prove himself to Milan, because I think Milan is going to go for more quality. I wonder, honestly, I don't know. I think it's going to be very difficult for Mete to stay in the team.
I think Milan will address other positions before, like getting another deep line playmaker, because I don't know. I look at Mete and he hasn't like gotten injured at all since joining Milan, which is something that other players have had a lot of trouble with. I think right now this is a very controversial opinion, but I think that Mete is in better form from what I've seen than Benacer. I know Benacer is played okay, like fairly. He played okay against Torino. Ever since he's been back, of course, Benacer has more quality, and once he gets better, he's going to be better probably than Mete. But I think Mete is very consistent, and I don't see, like, when you have to play midweek in the Champions League, I think against some of the smaller teams, especially in the group stages, he's going to be a very good player to have, or against teams in Serie A. So I'm all for keeping him for $8 million.
Yeah, I mean, I am yes and no, because it depends on who else is going to be available. But if they do keep him, I mean, I don't see why not having this extra midfielder that is going to be your third or fourth choice, a good player like Mete. I mean, even when we had the big Milan, we had Simic. Do you remember Dario Simic?
I do sort of remember him. I'm also. What year exactly was he from?
This is the 2000s, early 2000s. But anyway,
I was born around then, so I was very little.
Gotcha. That was a player that could have been a first team starter in almost any teams. But in Milan, he accepted the role of a second, third choice, and he helped a lot, because we had big games where we needed players in this position, and he came in. And he got the job done. So I'm all about having these third choices, second choices, fourth choices that are really good. Let me just go through some of these comments.
Yep.
Let's see. We outplayed. Okay. Roma should have put in 10 that second leg. Right. Menu just put it. Yeah, for sure. And any team in the world right now would take a C in the starting lineup. That shows you how much we cannot afford to let him go. Yeah, anybody. Kessie could be a first starter in any team right now, 100%. Imagine a 7-0 against Cagliari going into the
That would be nice.
That would be very nice. We better not sell Kessie, Carlos says. Flocky says, I don't want to be a 1-0 game or 2-1 because my heart can't take it anymore. I'm about to have a heart attack with this team. It could. That's what it could end up being, though.
It was so relieving to watch that 7-0, because I was like, okay, after 3-0, I was like, all right, this is going to be nice. I don't have to stress about the game anymore.
Yeah, I honestly kind of got upset with how they played the last 10 minutes, because they obviously, from what I've learned now and from what I've seen, they were showing mercy. As a matter of fact, I don't even know if Rebic, when he scored the 7th goal, his hands were up like this. I don't know if he was. I don't know why, but it almost looked like he was asking, he was saying, sorry, my bad. Because, these teams, they want to be gentlemen, and they want to not,
I think it depends. Like, if you're in like the Champions League or if you're playing against a better team and you're winning, like, let's say like 4-0, like, of course you want to keep going. But if you're playing against like Torino, it was kind of like the sense that they didn't show up to the game. So I think that it was kind of and I don't dislike Torino. At least they're not like in relegation position, because that would be really sad if we just dominated them like that. But I think they'll survive. So I'm happy for them, and yeah, they have good history. So it was kind of sad, but we got to win the game.
I'll be 100% with you, Antonio. I wasn't sad at all. Actually, I was pissed off that they stopped the last 10 minutes. I wanted them to score another 8 and maybe even a 9. Torino is an embarrassment. For what that club represents, its past, and the way Cairo has managed this team, and the way they have kept these big players they deserve all the shit they get. But whatever.
I do agree. I do agree that watching Cairo in the stands was pretty hilarious, and I think I don't like. Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking about their fans, but I'm not like a Torino fan, so I do admit that watching more goals is entertaining. So yeah, I part of me also wants to see more goals, but that's where I was just kind of coming from.
And I say, well, with all I say that because I respect Torino. I say that because I respect Torino, okay? Not because I don't respect Torino. I say that because I do respect Torino. I respect their history, and I want to see much more from this team.
That's what I think Diaz even said in the interview. He said, like, you got to keep going, like, to show, like, if you don't stop, you got to keep scoring because that shows more respect. I think he said that in his interview after the game. So
I agree with that. I think it's disrespectful to show mercy. It's almost like you are. Yeah, it's very. I think it's more respectful to just score more goals rather than show mercy. All right, let's. Conrad Camara says, "What should we do with Lau next season?"
That's a great question.
I think Lau should stay. I don't think he should go on loan. I think he should still be part of the rotation. Maybe by next year he'll also be able to play center forward role. I don't know, but as long as we have him as an option for the left, we should keep on. We shouldn't give up on this player yet. He's only 21. He's still part of the under 21 Portuguese team, right? He's not a national player yet. He still needs to make that leap. And once he makes that leap, his technical ability, his everything is going to get much bigger, and we can exploit that. What do you think, Antonio?
There's something really interesting to like understand about Leao, and that I've kind of like. I think Leao, the thing that's holding him back is his mentality. If you look at a player like Vlahovic, for instance, Vlahovic doesn't have amazing quality, but what he does have is he has like this strong desire to score goals. He's always, Leao. But yeah, so he has this strong desire to score goals, and he's so serious in like doing his job. So I think Leao, I think that's something. I don't know how much mentally he can improve. I'm not saying we should get rid of him. I'm saying if there's a good deal opportunity to kind of throw him in to lower the price of a really good player, it might be worth exploring. But I think we could keep him for at least another year. But I hope his mentality is something that you can fix, because he doesn't look interested in like playing. And I think that's a huge difference from Vlahovic.
Yeah, a lot of people say that, I don't know if I'm convinced about that yet, Antonio. I'll be honest with you. I don't know, because also, again, with my experience with players, some players are kind of like that, and they're more like, just more kind of like, in their own head and in their own space. But it doesn't mean that you can't exploit their talent. You have to be good at just being able to fit the player in his own pocket. And then once you get that player in his own mental space, psychological pocket, he can perform. There's been a lot of players like that are kind of like that, but then had a great career. So I don't know about this yet. I don't know about this thing about him being, lazy or being not in the mindset.
Yeah, I think
I'm not sure. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm not. I still have to make up my mind on that.
Yeah, I think maybe we should find. I don't know what his. Obviously, right now in our system, he's a left winger. That's his best possible position. I think it would be interesting to see him play with two strikers, because maybe that could be his ideal position. But I don't know. I've just been annoyed with him because he has everything. He's pretty tall. He has a good skill. He's insanely fast. He just doesn't put the pieces together to be clinical and to really get hit at least the 10-goal mark in a season. So
so this is where now we can open a discussion that maybe there's a little bit of me back and forth here. Okay, I don't think it's because of Leao, and I've said this a million times, so whoever follows me knows. I think that's because Pioli just put him in the wrong role. If Pioli would have just kept him on the left, and I honestly, listen, freaking Castillo
is a better center forward than Leao. All right. Cassie will get the job done. Will get the job done better. But if you put Leao on the left and you give him the space on the left and you give him, he operates. That's where he operates on. Even against Torino, last thing. Even against Torino, even though he was playing like a hybrid second striker or left wing, but he started from the left wing. And even if you just analyze the goal that he was involved in, he run from the left, he took it back in, and then from the left, he made the right decision. From the left, he passed it back in where what's his name was? Rebic. So it's like some players just operate in one space. And they're one-dimensional players. Robben, you remember Robben?
Left foot.
That's that's a player that you can only put in one position. But fuck, who doesn't want Robben in his team?
Yeah, I think Leao. It's tough because I remember when he arguably was in his best form of the season when we played against Roma the first time, and he was on the left wing with Ibra. I don't like Leao with Rebic together. I think both of them are kind of left, they both have the tendency to go to the left, and I think it kind of confuses the way we play. So I don't know. I think Leao needs to kind of master his role into the team, and Pioli kind of has to figure that out because it's just kind of confusing to watch, especially when he just doesn't try and to chase the ball and stuff like that.
Look, I'll say it again. If you put Leao on the left, Rebic in the center, the team is going to work.
Rebic center, Leao to the left. Do you think?
Rebic center, Leao on the left, the team is going to work. It's going to work. If you do the opposite, the team is not going to work.
Right, of course, that's true. I think that's why I think I know Rebic has been doing great as the center forward recently. I think he's still good on the left wing as well. I think if you have Ibra and Rebic together, or maybe if you get a center forward and Rebic together, that would be great. So I don't know. I wouldn't say Leao is a starter right now. Is what I'm saying.
No, he's not. He's not the starter right now. Pioli definitely identified the starters. And it's quite interesting that if Ibra was injured, Rebic wouldn't be a starter either. It'd be Çalhanoğlu. Çalhanoğlu on the left, Brahim Diaz in the middle, and because we saw that against Juventus, So it's interesting what Pioli is seeing in the training arena. You have Chala on the left, Brahim Diaz in the middle, Salamakers on the right, and Ibra up top. When Ibra is gone, Rebic takes his spot. And when Chala is gone, Leao takes his spot. So it's the hierarchy kind of shifted in these last games.
Right. This is a great comment, by the way.
Yeah, this one right here, very interesting. And it goes down to, Ricardo Quaresma was more talented than Cristiano Ronaldo as youngsters, but look at how mentally and hard work pays off and how it would kill your career. Yeah, 100%. And same thing goes with Cassano,
Balotelli, yeah. I was going to say the same thing.
There's players that have totally wasted this, great opportunity that they had in life to become these incredible players. And I see what you guys are saying. Leao could be heading in that direction. He could be.
But Leao isn't like as crazy as them, but he's just not invested in the game. And sometimes he is. And when he has those brief moments, when he does try, he's great. But it's just about, can you really keep him in that state for the whole game?
It's going to be up to him. It's going to be up to his agents. It's going to be up to his family. It's going to be up to the coaches. It's going to be up to Maldini. It's going to be up to all these people to get it in his head.
We should do a swap deal. We should trade him and some money and get Haaland or something, someone like that.
On the left, if we were to trade Leao, I wonder who you could get. Let's go through some. Floki says we can't make the same mistake for now as he did with Calabria said it. He's a young talent which needs to give him some time to grow his mentality. Don't forget Milan is a tough team to grow in. I agree with that. That's why actually that comment is one of the reasons why I haven't given up on that. I don't think we should.
I'm not saying we should give up on him. I'm just saying that I'm seeing that's his mentality is scaring me. And I think, of course, we should give him like at least another season or maybe 2 more. And if he doesn't change, then that's when you should sell him. But yeah, give him a chance.
And I agree with Conrad here. He says Lau needs to be focused. I know he's young and youthful, but I think the music thing is a distraction for him. I agree.
Yep.
I agree. Like, you got to think about football, man. There are people investing millions on you, and you have a chance to become the hero of your national team. So, like, just, you can build your music career on the down low, and then in 15, 20 years, when you're done, when you're 35, 36, maybe then go for your music career.
I think there's only one player on Milan that can afford to like be very multi-dimensional like that, and that's Ibra, because that's just who he is. You see him in like all these different things. He plays. He's like 1 minute. He's like, I heard he's like making a movie or something. But Ibra has that he's got like that iron mentality where every time he plays, he'll play at his best. So.
Yeah. No, I think, and a lot of us here agree that he should be should kind of lay off the music thing and just do it on the down low. Don't put it on social media. Actually, don't do it at all. Just focus on football.
Maybe in the summer.
Erfan Nadal asks, what do you think about Tomori? Do we keep him for next season?
Yes.
100%. Tomori is showing to be a top player.
100%. Listen, I really enjoy, I'm kind of like obsessed with watching highlights on like YouTube about potential Milan players. And in January, when I saw like those links, I looked him up and I was like, this guy, like, he's very aggressive and I really liked him. And ever since he had like 2 bad games with Milan, but besides that, he's just been amazing. I am 100% in favor of buying him. And if we make Champions League, it's going to happen. I'm just saying that right now. So huge fan.
100%. All right, let's read these 2 comments here. Leao has nothing to do with bad attitude, guys. Don't get that wrong. He's nothing like Balotelli. Casaro's only weakness in his mentally. Some players grow older than the others. It's like real life. There's people that become mature really early. There's people that become mature older. But in general, Leao is not a problem. I agree with you, Flocky. I'm with you 100%. I have no complaints with Leao. My only complaint with Leao is how Pioli used it.
I don't agree exactly with what you just said, but I agree with what he said because I never said, I think I even said Leao is not like Balotelli. He's not a troublemaker like that. He's just not like his mentality is the problem. He's not like invested.
Right. Actually, Floki put it correct. He's very childish, right? He's still very childish. He still needs to mature. He's still kind of like the kid. He's the kid in the training ground. He's probably like he's one of the youngest, so he's still one of the kids.
You saw him with the snowballs, right? Remember that?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Snowballs, pranking the players in the locker room, and all that good stuff. He's a hard guy. Reviews. All right, Antonio, man. Nice. Very cool. Any last thing you want to say before?
Yeah, the one thing that we didn't talk about yet that I wanted to like discuss was like Vlahovic and the like summer, like what we're gonna do, because recently I've seen a lot of news sources and like a lot of talk that we really are interested in Vlahovic.
Hey, before you go on, I'm gonna bring in another guest in it, and we're gonna talk. We're gonna do 3.
Bro, yep, that sounds great.
Hi guys, how you doing?
Hi.
What is up, my friend? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing? All good?
Really
excellent,
good.
Excellent. So Antonio was saying something, and then Hasni, what's up?
I'm doing all right. I just came on just to express my views on Leao. I heard what you guys were saying earlier. I hope I can get a word in.
Yeah, for sure. Let Antonio finish what he was saying, and then the floor is yours.
All right.
I mean, we can talk about Leao first. I was just talking about Vlahovic, and I think that's going to take us like into the transfer market. But I would rather just continue talking about Leao if you guys want to talk about him. So.
Okay, so let's talk about Leao.
All right. So let me just say something, and I think we're skirting around the topic a bit. A lot of people have been gunning Leao down about his lack of being clinical in front of goals, playing different positions. But guys, don't you think that we have an endemic problem on the left-hand side where we have too many players? And the fact is that when we're trying Leao, we're expecting the world from him. Now, keep in mind is that Leao has scored, if I'm not mistaken, from the stats, that he scored 6 goals. So he does have it within him. And I don't quite agree with a lot of the fans saying that, he should focus on his rap career and all this. I mean, at the end of the day, this guy still has a life, so he's entitled to do what he wants in his spare time. But definitely on the pitch, if we're not seeing the performances, then as fans, of course, we're watching out. But I don't think a lot of the criticism is justified. And when we do get, hopefully by next game when we wrap up our entrance back into the Champions League, we will see Leao in terms of how he performs on the greatest stage and what he's really like when it comes to those top teams. Because I think it was mentioned just now is that he does have the capability, he has the potential. No one disagrees with that, and it's just a matter of time, really. So, in my opinion, I think we still need to give him the benefit of the doubt.
What's up, Larry? How you doing, my friend? Hey.
Hi, everyone. Is that a Borussia Dortmund shirt?
No, it's actually the Malaysian jersey.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
I got the scarf today.
Yeah,
that's nice. Just to Larry, we're talking about Leao and his future. So just to go, just with what you were saying, I agree with you, Skinner. I don't think Leao's a liability. And honestly, the music career thing, I think it'd be better for him not to go public with it, because it's going to create a distraction whether you like it or not. The fans are going to go after him. If he has a shitty game, the fans already have an alibi. I think he can be a little bit smarter in how he projects his social media that can help mitigate his career and his relationship with fans. But I disagree that he shouldn't do music. I mean, let's go back all the way to Gullit. I don't know if you guys know, but Gullit had a reggae band. Like he was playing reggae and smoking weed and doing all that crap, when Milan was playing back in the 90s. So I agree with you. It's not necessarily something that can take your focus away, but just right now in the social media world, I don't know.
But Roy, don't you think that Ibra, he went to San Remo when you could say arguably we didn't need him. I know he was injured. But the fact that if he wasn't injured, do you think he wouldn't have gone?
but hold on, but Ibra is a player that has already established himself as a top player. This is the last year of his career. He kind of makes the rules. Leao is a little kid, Leao is still a child. That's a big difference, man.
Let's look at in terms of how if we talk about the same measurement for players. I mean, no doubt, Ibra is a legend. He's delivered for this club, not only in the recent past, but in 2011 with the Scudetto. But come on, which comes first? If you want to criticize Leao for his rap music, be it good or not or whatever, let's look at Ibra as well. Ibra does a lot of things outside of the pitch, by the way.
That's fine, but again, what are we talking about? We're talking about Leao and his rap and his career and his music. We're not talking about it positively. Some of us are criticizing it, some of us are not. What are we doing? We're taking away the attention from the game, from the football, and this is what he's doing. By doing that, now it's a reason why 99% of the other football players don't do that.
Guys, just quick question. We all agree, just to have this stated, we all agree that Ibra's mentality is completely different from Leao's mentality, and that Leao does have some not bad character, but he does have a mentality and issue with being serious. Do you guys agree with that, or because I think that's a big difference between them?
Ibra is a leader. He's the alpha of the pack. Leao is like one of the puppies of the pack.
Okay.
And I don't want to disagree with what you said, by the way, because I agree that Leao has everything we should definitely give him time, but I do think that a bit of his problems are related to his mentality. I do have to admit that.
No, let's put it into context. Leao, he's not. You could say he's not the first team player. He's not in the starting 11 if we have everyone back. I think somewhat we can agree on that. He has scored 6 goals. Look at it in terms of the context. Is he not worth 6 goals at this particular point of time?
He scored 6 goals when he was considered a starter, though, at times, and he kind of had to step up. I think back to the of course, when he plays as number 9, you can't really take judge him too much because that's not his position. So I think, yeah, we need to see him solely from the left-hand side to judge him. I think back to the Napoli game when I don't know why Pioli was mixing Rebic and Leao like center forward, left wing when we lost 1-0. But I also saw Leao, when a ball came over the top of the defense, he went in and he just completely like missed, and that was a chance to level the game. And I think he's just those moments where you can tell he doesn't really want to score, and it's just frustrating to me.
No, but
Yeah.
would you then argue that it's not his fault? Is it Pioli's fault for not switching between him and Rebic? I mean, I know
No,
I think like
That's
Leao
what I
is
think.
attorney here, but
Hans,
it's more than just about him.
Hasling, that's what I think. I think it's all Pioli. It's got nothing to do with Leao. Not the exterior criticism is just a criticism I have. Whether he does, look, the guy can be, if he wants to do music, but you know, score goals and do your part. But at the end of the day, when it comes to the footballing, I said I'm not worried about his attitude. I think he's still young, like Flocky was saying, and he's going to grow. And if he doesn't grow, then he won't grow, and he will have wasted his career. But it was Pioli. Leao had a bad season because of Pioli, not because of Leao. Let's get Lair in. What do you think, Lair?
I mean, I think Leao had a great start the first part of the season. He was playing pretty well, and people enjoyed the fact that he actually was putting a bit of effort. I think Leao's problem is just the attitude and the approach in the game. Sometimes it feels like he's outside the game. He's not concentrated enough to do the things he has to do. And I'm not talking just about goals, but doing the right run, passing the ball, stopping the ball, fighting with the defenders. We see that he's like, it looks like he doesn't care, but in my opinion, it's not because he doesn't care. He's not concentrated enough when he's playing football. And when you see someone that is not concentrated 100% at his job, you kind of blame his hobbies and everything outside the job, he's doing. And it's fair enough. All of us, if we're working and we are distracted at work, people start to question, what are you doing outside work? And Leao is the same thing. If you're not concentrated doing your job and you're not doing it 100%, it means something outside your job is going. You're not doing the right thing outside the football environment. Because Milanello is a great place to work. You have great teammates. The manager trusts you a lot, and the club is good enough. There is enough ambition. So probably he needs just to focus on football at the moment and become the best version of Leao for at least one season or 2 seasons in a row. After that, he can do whatever he wants. He can even be a dancer, a rapper, whatever he wants to do. And he can sell more. He can have more success as a rapper if he's a great footballer. That's another thing for sure.
Yeah, I think who else is doing that is Memphis Depay.
Yeah, he was doing that when he was at Man United, and see how things end up.
Depay
and Osvaldo. Do you remember Osvaldo? Also Osvaldo.
Yeah, in my opinion, you are a football player, so you need to score 20 goals a season. After that, you can do whatever you want. You can go to Sanremo. It's simple like that.
Yeah. If I had to give a percentage of what's to blame for Leao's season, like the coaching decisions or his mentality, I would probably say at least 70 to 80% coaching. But I think that there is a part that you still have to blame his mentality for, because there are situations in the game. And guys, he also did play left wing a good amount of the season, and he hasn't always shined as a left winger too. So it's fair to. So you have to note that his defensive contribution, his mentality, and his involvement is an issue. I think you have to acknowledge that to a certain extent.
Guys, look at Leao, how he plays, and look at his profile. I think he has somewhat of the height. But in my opinion, Leao is quite a good counter-attacking player. Do you guys remember we beat Inter 2-1? How that goal came about? Selmakers, I think he crossed all the way to Leao, and he took them on. Who was it on the left-hand side?
Yeah,
I think this was for the second goal, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, that's the thing, though. Are we a counter-attacking team? Do we have to switch the way we play to fit Leao's style? That's. No,
if we're not a counter-attacking team, is it then Leao's fault if that's his strength? He might thrive in a 3-5-2, by the way.
Look, I hope he tries a 3-5-2. I hope he tries different things. I think that like Leao should have, even though he's mainly a counterattacking player. I think that he does have to show a bit more when he plays on the left wing in a 4-2-3-1, because I know it's not his. I'm not saying he has to score like 15 goals or 10, maybe not even 10, but he does have to kind of show a bit more contribution overall. That's where I stand.
Look, when Leao plays on the left, all right, he'll grow into the game because it's on the left. Remember, when you're playing on the wing, you don't have the 360-degree scope. You have a 180 scope. So you're not thinking what's happening behind you or what's happening on your side. All that's on your side is the line of the field. And so all you have to do in that case is bring the ball forward or connect with other players. Then you put him right there on the edge of the side of the box. He does a dribbling. He does a good play. And then that starts to build up. It starts to build up in his confidence. And once he's built up into the game, you can even see him as a number 9 scorer. So I think that as long as you start him on the left, whether it's left striker, whether it's left, he's going to play. He's going to play. He's going to make you win games against Inter. He's going to make you win games against big teams. But he's a one-dimensional player. He still has a lot to learn. And just put him in the right spot, and you're going to get the best out of him.
I just want to say, to defend a bit Pioli, that a lot of games, for sure, you could have put Leao on the left and put Rebic as a striker or put somebody else. But a lot of games, Pioli didn't have any option. He had just Leao as a striker because injuries, Rebic and Mandzukic and Ibra was injured. So he was the only option to put Leao as a striker. And in that moment, you need to give a bit more. You need to fight a bit more. And that's the problem of Leao. He's not a fighter. That's a position of the pitch. You have to fight with defenders. You have to do the run. You have to hold the ball, make the team come up. And he's not that player at the moment, but he needs to be that player, because if you want to play with AC Milan with the physical ability you have to learn that type of game. I don't care if you're not good enough at the moment, but you have to learn that, because with AC Milan, you're going to play in that position probably a lot of games with injuries, different situation, counter-attacking. You look at Osimhen. Osimhen physically is similar as like Leao, no? He's tall, he's fast, technically.
Mbappe also.
Huh?
Look at Mbappe. I think he has very similar characteristics, but
Osimhen is a good.
Yeah, he plays as a striker, and he does it properly. He plays for the team. He does the run. He fights with defenders. He scores. He attacking the space. So Leao needs to do that, and definitely has the characteristic to do that.
I'm glad you mentioned Osimhen, because I honestly think that if you had a team of 11 players with the head that Osimhen has, you'd be winning every single year, because that guy plays for the team. He fights till the end. He does all the right things. And you're right. If Leao had that head, that brain, man, it'd be quite incredible.
And with my experience, if Leao next season doesn't show any improvement on that level, more on how to approach the game, I think Leao is never gonna be the player we hope he wants to be. So it's the best option for AC Milan is to sell it or keep it as a squad player. But he has another year. He's gonna play 50 games next season, 40 games, and we'll see. We'll see what is gonna be the improvement. And Maldini, Pioli, everyone is gonna judge that and decide.
Osimhen is also 40 million more expensive than him.
Yeah,
letting you know.
And it makes sense. He's mentally ready to play in that position and to drag a team.
Don't you think this is a story of Andre Silva? It is repeating itself?
No,
I don't know, man. I think Andre Silva is more serious.
He was giving everything. I think he just didn't have enough quality at that time, or even the team. He wasn't good enough. AC Milan wasn't good enough at that time. These AC Milan creating chances is always trying to win the game, and we are second position with 75 points. So it's not bad. It's a lot of points if you think. So it's a different team. So Leao should score at least 10 goals, 12 goals a season, something like that.
One of my biggest regrets is that we sold Andre Silva, to be honest. And my family, we talked about this. We actually I know I'm not trying to sound like I knew it, but we believed in him, and we think he had the quality. But I think what Lyard said, that the team was not in a good position when he played. And of course, look, I'm not going to complain. Rebic is a great player. We got Rebic in that deal. So I have no regrets. I'm not super upset about that because I think Rebic also has great quality. But yeah, I think Andres Silva, I think he should have had more chances personally.
Yeah, it's for example, if we sell Leao next season after him not showing the potential he can show, I'm not having any regrets. He can even score 25 goals season after with the team they're gonna buy. It's just not happening. It's not good enough for San Siro. It's not good enough for these type of levels, for these type of games. That's it. It's not like that.
Laird, let me ask you a question. But remember, Lao's 21. Maybe next year is still too early.
No, I'm not saying to be a finished player, but I want to see from him the attitude. If he's fighting every game, he's always on the concentrated, and he scores 7 goals next season, that's fine. It means he's there, he's creating chances, he's fighting for the team, he's helping the team to win. He did incredible game. I remember that game when he scored, and we were one man down, and he scored a goal.
Benevento.
Was Benevento, I think.
Yes, he scored that crazy goal, right?
Exactly. Yeah. That's the attitude I want from Leao. If he doesn't do that goal, fair enough. That it's not a problem. But if you give that 100% during the game, it means you are on the right track, and I'm waiting for you another year. I don't mind. But if you're playing still the same level, not improving at all, even Selemaker is not a finished player, but we saw an improvement on him, so it's worth it to wait. So
Salamakers has much less quality than Leao, but much higher work rate. He tracks back, he dominates the flanks when he plays. That's the difference.
And the head, his brain is more of a warrior. Always fighting for the ball, running when he can't. Yeah, you guys are right about this aspect of Leao's game. We definitely all see that there's something lacking there. And if he can just add that element to his game, I worry that next season might be still too early to see that. I wonder if that's going to be the case.
I'm not like Lyard said. He doesn't have to score he doesn't have to score 10 goals. But when he comes on, and if he's playing his position as a left winger, and you got to see him have a positive game. You kind of have to judge him in the sense of other player, maybe like a midfielder. In the sense of all right, let's look at the way he plays his position, look at how he moves, and see how involved in the game he is. And if he's not, then what? I don't really know. How are you going to defend him in that sense?
Okay, let me throw this out there. Would you group Leao in the same category as Krunic?
No.
Because of his quality, of course not. Of course not.
It's better because Krunic is 27, Leao is 21. So
I would put Leao under Krunic, to be honest.
because of that free kick. No,
because Krunic is more versatile. But
well, guys, let me ask you this: who works harder?
Krunic.
Exactly, and I agree.
Are you guys serious? Krunic works harder.
Who works harder in the game?
Remember against Celtic? What happened?
But that's not him. That's him being an idiot. That's not him not working.
That was a technical mistake. Tactical mistake.
Krunic runs more in the field. He's more involved in the game. Of course, he's much worse, and he's a worse player because he doesn't have that any quality, in my opinion. I mean, he does have some quality, but not nowhere near Leao's quality. That's what's so frustrating is that if Leao could be so much more, he could do even more. He could be so much more impactful in the game, but he doesn't really work as hard, in my opinion.
Yeah, guys, we will see what will happen with Leao next season. And let's see what he does. He's going to probably be – I'm assuming he's going to come in the last 20 minutes of the game for Çalhanoğlu again. I don't think Pioli is going to make much changes against Cagliari. He's going to kind of keep it the same tactics, same way. Çalhanoğlu is probably going to go out last 20 minutes. Leao is going to come in for him. Krunic is going to come in for Brahim Diaz. So to cover up, it depends obviously on how the game is going. We might see Castillo again. We might see Dalot. We might see Mate come in. So this.
Going back to the Leao, Brahim Diaz his mentality. He's focused in the game. He's tiny. He doesn't have the strength of Leao. He has a great ability technically, but he's really focused during the game. He's trying to be dangerous, always asking for the ball, always being, on top of things. And that's mentality. That shows me that if I wait for the guy, he's going to be a top player. He's going to be, because he's going to train, he's going to run faster, he's going to be quicker at thinking, and he's going to bring some great results to the club. That's the thing.
I think Leao's ceiling is so much higher. I mean, I don't know that much higher. I think I would argue that Leao's ceiling is higher than Diaz's, but I think Diaz is more likely to become a better player because of his work rate, just like Lyard said.
But guys, 3 games before was it yesterday or the day before? Who would have thought Diaz would have been in this sort of form? And I'm not going to take it away from him. I mean, he's been playing great. Maybe like
I really like him anyway.
Do you see my comments before? In the first half of the season, what he was like when I called him Paper Diaz? Okay, now I have to take it back, I guess.
Yeah. But no, I always liked him, and I always liked him because I've seen in the past people with that work rate and with that quality becoming a good player, even struggling a lot at the early 20. I remember Schneider. He was playing really well with Real Madrid, but he was struggling. And he moved to Inter at 26, 27, and became the player he was. The same Coutinho with Inter was struggling a lot in Serie A. He moved a lot, and he went to Premier League at the age of 26, 25. He had his peak. So Brahim Diaz is that type. David Silva as well is that type of player. But
guys, this is an Interista that comes every once in a while to say hello. Obviously, he's not the most the most
sporty.
What's the word? Losers who have the biggest fall from grace ever been in winter. Mr. Troll.
How much have you guys spent on your squad though? Like,
hey, how about you guys
salaries?
How about you guys pay? You guys won a Scudetto without paying your players. You guys shouldn't even have that Scudetto. You cheated.
Conte's gone next season. Don't worry.
They're going to sell the Scudetto the first time they get with some money.
They're gonna try to pawn it. That's what they're gonna do.
Well, he's saying we need his help. Why we need his help? We don't need his help.
Well, look, hey, Ishmael, beat Juventus, and I will congratulate you.
Beat Juventus, sell Lautaro Martinez so you can pay the other players. And
right.
let's see next season if you're gonna come over.
And Ishmael, please, next season, respect the Champions League a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly.
It's easy to talk.
Every time I go on Twitter, everyone is making fun of the Serie A because the Inter went out.
Right.
League, man.
Ishmael, if they call us the Farmers League, it's because of how Inter got beat by mid-table teams in the Champions League.
Come on, man. Put some effort next season. We are criticizing Leao, but you guys, come on. A bit of fun.
But in all fairness, Ishmael, Inter, fantastic season. Okay, like I'm always going to be sports man, and I'm going to say things where Inter had a fantastic season in the Serie A, but in Champions League, embarrassing.
And no offense, Ishmael. Inter is the second team of Milan, so no.
Roy, what was that? Roy, what was that comment about the budget, the Elliott budget that I saw?
Let's see.
That was pretty interesting.
Let me put this question out for you guys. Let's say Elliott says we have 200 million this mercato. Would you go and buy lots of players, or only 2-3 expensive ones? And which one would you go for?
3 expensive ones. 3 expensive ones.
Yeah, I would say so.
I think we have a foundation.
I wouldn't go for the expensive one. Look at our Milan medical team. Get 3 expensive ones, you use three of them on the bench or in the treatment room for half the season. You just continue the project.
Would you spend the money on getting a new medical staff?
No, a new hospital. I think we need a new hospital. That's what we need.
Yeah.
That's fine. I would probably get, let's see, with 200 million.
That's a lot.
Oh, man. You guys go
I will
first.
buy Inter. I will buy Inter and send it in Serie B. That's the value of the club at the moment.
You don't need 200 for that.
I will send them in Serie B straight away, man. I'm fine.
With 200 million, I'd buy Lukaku for sure, and Barella and Hakimi.
I sell all of them to Manchester City, and I send Inter to Serie B. I don't want them.
Like a serious answer would be, I would get a striker, a right winger, and a maybe a fullback, or depending on if Çalhanoğlu leaves, an attacking midfielder.
Ishmael says, "Who won the Champions League more recently than you, and it was a treble."
Yeah, we have 7 of them, buddy. Enjoy.
But what happened afterwards, Ishmael? What happened afterwards?
Won the Scudetto.
But let's be honest, that treble was awesome. Okay, it was amazing. I wish Milan could do that. I wish, but then you got
Roy. Don't say that.
But wait, hold on. But the thing is, after you won that treble, you disappeared.
Exactly. That's why I don't want to do that. I want to win one Champions League every 3 years. I'm happy with that. And never be a treble in my history. I don't care.
Wait, guys, one thing. First of all, imagine Juventus fans when all these years they haven't been able to win the Champions League. They only have 2 in their history. Inter, at least they won the treble, but Milan has 7. Like, can you guys just people need to respect 7 Champions Leagues, second out of any other club. Do you guys understand how amazing that is? Just I would rather have 7 Champions Leagues than a treble and 100 Scudetti, whatever. I would take Champions Leagues any day.
If I'm not mistaken, Milan was in the final in '58 against Real Madrid, and then they were in the final. I'm talking about the ones that we lost. We lost in 58.
We lost against Marseille.
We lost in '93 against Marseille. We lost in '95.
Liverpool.
95 against Ajax and Liverpool. So out of 11 finals, we won 7.
Good record.
No, but no one's going to take that away from us. I mean, look at the badge. I mean, this is what we go to every season. They just got to when they get up off the floor, stare at the badge. Take a second, just stare at it.
Yep.
I will buy with 200 million. I will buy Mbappe, and
that's it.
Nah, his contract is expiring, so 150 million is enough.
Then you have to pay him though, 9 to 20 million a year or something like that. That's the thing.
Oh, so fuck him. I don't want him. I want a player that earns more than the entire other players. I want someone who earns a decent amount. So I will go for Dominic DCL. Dominic sounds good.
Do you guys want to talk about how the Champions League will affect our budget? And because I'm so excited about that. If we get this win, you guys know what that means. We can start going after some players.
No, but don't you think a double-edged sword? I mean, once in the Champions League, okay, maybe this time we'll feel happy about it. But when you're continuously in the Champions League, and if you want to buy players, other teams will see that you guys have a lot of money, so you're not going to be paying the current prices. You'll be paying a Champions League rate for players. So who you thought maybe at 60 might be 80 then. I think that's what it's going to be.
I think if you're good at negotiating, though, you can still work out good deals. I think,
It's the prestige. Sometimes it's the player that forces the club to be, the player to be sold to AC Milan.
Yes.
So they have to accept the money AC Milan is offering, not more.
The players will be more likely to want to go to a Champions League team as well.
Yeah,
I think, that's huge.
And Milan has this has cultivated this reputation throughout the whole soccer world. So when Milan is in the Champions League, everybody has their ears up, their antennas up, because when Milan is calling you to win the Champions League, it means business. If we make it the Champions League, the table changes, guys. The table changes.
No, but Roy, this is Champions League with Krunic and Castillejo. Keep that in mind.
We won the Champions League with Brocchi and Massimo Oddo, and we went to the final with Pancaro. No, we won a final with Pancaro. Remember Pancaro? We won a final with Pancaro.
But when you win it, the slate is wiped clean. But if you don't win it, it's going to come back and haunt you.
Right.
Look at some of the players on that team, though. We won the Champions.
Oh, of course, yeah. And so earlier, Laird, I said something that was controversial. I said that today Milan on a given day can beat Man City, can beat PSG, can beat Barcelona, can beat Real Madrid. I'm not saying 10 out of 10, but 3 or 4 out of 10 they will win, right? But next year, with our players getting 1 year older, entering in their top player kind of phase, I think we won't have problems against these teams. I'm not scared to play against Real Madrid. I'm not scared to play against Barcelona. I think we're going to go there and they're going to be like, shit, I didn't expect this. What do you think?
I'm worried next season. I'm worried more the fact that the countries in Europe, they're going to be in a different phase of the pandemic. So maybe you go to Germany and play against Bayern and the stadium is full, and they come to Milan and the stadium is empty. So that's a big factor. So it's going to be interesting to see that. Listen, I think we are going to buy important players this summer. We're going to buy. I already heard that Tomori and Diaz, they're gonna buy the 2 players straight away.
That's great. So, I hope they're gonna be able to get Diaz. I really hope so.
I know that Juventus, a lot of players that are going to leave. Cristiano Ronaldo is leaving probably, and they need to sell a few players. They're not going to get back Morata. So Juventus, in my opinion, is done for the next 5 years. If they don't go in Champions League the next 2 games, they are done for 5 years. They're not going to get back. It's going to take a while for them. They're going to go in the phase we went the last 6-7 years.
I disagree.
I don't
Juventus
know
are going to use their budget to buy refs.
They're gonna keep spending themselves in debt because they're one of those teams where they don't care if they're in debt. And financial fair play is not going to stop them.
I think Juventus is going to be back right where it usually is, starting from next year.
No. They're not going to. I don't think they're going to win the league next year, I don't think they're going to be.
Man, they could. Guys, how much do you guys? Well, okay, maybe not this year because of the Europa League. We'll see. Maybe you're right. Maybe
also you have to see what they do in the summer. It's going to be like a whole revolution at Juventus.
They need to sell.
They're going to be changing owners.
Big players. They need to sell the big players. No big player wants to go to them. They have a big debt. The ownership is struggling with their corporate. Fiat is like they're not selling cars anymore. They have debt as well. They're struggling with the pandemic a lot. So I don't think Juventus is going to take a while. It's going to take at least 5 years to come back to the Champions League and win in Serie A. Atalanta is too good. AC Milan is going really well.
I don't know.
Better play.
We have to see. I was just talking with people.
I think Chiesa, we're not going to wait Chiesa for 5 years. Chiesa, in 2 years, is going to be winning big things, I think.
No.
Maybe not with Juventus.
We'll see. We will see.
Wait, Roy, I wanted to say, I was just thinking about this earlier. Like next year, you don't know what's going to happen with Inter in the offseason, with their depths, with their ownership. You don't know what's going to happen with Juventus. But one thing, though, Milan, look at Milan this offseason. If we secure Champions League, we'll have we have the lowest debt out of any of these teams. We can go and we can strengthen our team, and we can be even better than we were. Pioli learned many things through this cycle. What do you guys think about the Scudetto for us next season? I think that's realistic considering the state of other teams.
If we make it into the Champions League, I'll go first, but you guys answer that. If we make it into the Champions League, the way it's always been at Milan, if you're a Champions League team, then you have the obligation to win the Scudetto. Obviously, if you don't win it, you don't win it. As long as we make the top 4, I'm happy. But yes, I think if starting from next season, we should be able to be a Scudetto winning team.
Guys,
and we got a last thing, and then you guys go. And we need to win that star, the second star, before Inter does. Right,
guys,
you guys answer.
Good things are coming. Like I think Milan fans can be optimistic about what's happening. So I just want to say, and also, what do you guys think about some Juventus players like Bernardeschi and Kulusevski? Because I heard some rumors about right wingers potentially, like maybe for Romagnoli or something.
Oh yeah, I'll give them Romagnoli and 20 million for Kulusevski.
No, I don't take any scraps from them. We'll never hear the end of it. If they're injured, then you're just paying a free salary. Look at Mandzukic in a way. Mandzukic, even though not directly from Juve, it's something that could happen.
No, they're never going to sell Kulusevski. They might sell Bernardeschi. Kulusevski is one of their star players. They're in for the future.
The thing is, though, he's not. I don't think he's happy because Chiesa's the standout right winger. So I think that's why he's kind of a bench player. So there's potential.
Well, Chiesa is playing on the left right now.
Yeah, but Kulusevski didn't even start against us, though.
Because Ronaldo is in the pitch. That's the whole problem of Juventus. Ronaldo takes space to a lot of youngsters, and he's not functional to the idea of the modern coaching that these young coaches want to do. Ronaldo he finalized. He gives them ball on the box and he's gonna score. But in terms of build-up, he's really far away from what he was before. And if they get rid of Ronaldo, they get rid of Dybala, they get rid of Morata, they're going to play with Kulusevski and Chiesa together and a striker.
Well, in that case, then yes, it's going to take them 5 years to come back.
But that's going to happen, Roy, because Dybala is not renewing and he's moving to the Premier League or to a bigger team. Ronaldo is earning 60 million a year, so he's leaving. And
but Ronaldo sells jerseys. That's the point. He's not just there to play.
Yes.
But no one buys jersey if you don't go to the stadium. And for another 6 months, Italy is going to be still with vaccination and everything. So, and he's not going to play in Europa League, so he's going to ask to leave. They cannot keep him.
Look, there's just one theme around Juventus right now, and it's not trending in a good direction. Ronaldo, first, they are at serious risk of missing the Champions League. Napoli have easy games. Us and Atalanta, we should both go through. Juventus will be, if they're in the Europa League, which is looking more and more likely, they have serious problems. They're going to be changing all of their players. I don't think they're going to win the Scudetto next season. I think they have a very low chance, and I think
I'm going to call this, guys. I'm going to call this. I think Juventus is not out yet because I don't think Napoli is going to beat Fiorentina. I think that's going to be a tie, and then Juventus might win against. If Juventus beat Inter and Napoli ties, then I think Napoli goes. Then they're equal points. Then they're both equal points, and then it goes down to the last game. So let's not count them out yet.
That's a really bold call. Napoli's
Roy. Why would you say that Napoli's not going to beat Fiorentina? I think they have everyone back.
Because Fiorentina right now is in good form. And Fiorentina right now, Vlahovic is in good form. The team is healthy right now. Napoli's healthy too. I'm not saying it's not going to be as easy for Napoli to beat Fiorentina as some of these other things.
Quick question, Roy. So are you saying that Juventus has a better chance, like objectively, or is that just like your prediction? Like, what do you?
No, I'm just saying if I look at these games, I'm thinking that obviously Juventus is going to be way more fired up than Inter because Inter is. They're playing for nothing, really. They're just playing for pride.
Yeah,
but Juventus is playing for their season. So you have to imagine that Juventus this is going to be a big game for Juventus. This is going to be the game for Juventus. So I don't know if a lot of people are saying, Inter is going to easily beat Juventus. I don't think that's going to happen. And then Napoli-Fiorentina, let's not be so sure that Napoli is just going to ride all over Fiorentina.
Juventus is not going to win against Inter.
There is
no chance. If they win against Inter, it means Inter is giving them the 3 points. Because they are really bad. Juventus is really bad. I've seen them play. They struggle. They gave like 4 or 5 clear chances to Sassuolo last time. Juventus is not a team. The midfield they have is a joke. Betancourt is really bad, man. It's really bad.
Too many old players as well. Chiellini was really good, but now
we'll see, guys. It's going to be a final for them.
I have two main things that I just want to add. Number one is that there was actually a quote that from Lukaku, I think, that I read today, saying that he's told, he said that Inter have to go, they cannot lose the game against Juventus. So I think he's fired up, and I think they will try and put their full effort. Another thing is about Fiorentina. The only things, I think they're safe, they should be safe, but I think the main thing that can maybe cause trouble is Vlahovic, like you talked about, because I think every time he plays, and if he scores, it can increase his value for maybe so can sell him for more money. So I think that's why.
And look, one of the reasons. Look, this is something that we analyzed. Vlahovic is not a player that makes the team play well. Vlahovic scores goals when the team is playing well, because you even saw his last goals. They're just tap-ins. It's just him getting into space and tapping. So the ball is getting there via the other players. So the fact that Vlahovic is scoring means the team is healthy, right? So, again, it's not going to be that easy. It's not going to be that easy.
I will say he is good at, he's good in the air, and he is good at, like, being aggressive to get the ball. So, I mean, I think he still has a good he's individually strong like that. But yeah, I agree that he is not like going to create his own goals, like dribble past players, things like that. So
no, he's not.
But you raised a good point in terms of Vlahovic's aerial ability. I think I said this before when I last joined Roy.
What?
Milan, from an open play, we don't have any aerial ability. You guys agree? Other than the dead ball or set piece.
Only Zlatan.
Yeah, but you can't count on him to convert all headers into a goal.
Yes, you're right, Hunter, but you don't really need it, to be honest with you. It's a thing. If you can play good football on the ground, you don't need you don't need to rely. It's a good option to have, for sure.
No, but I think we need the variety, because look at one of the criticisms of Hauge. Hauge is a guy who just dribbles it, cuts in from the left. And, in the times where he performed quite badly, it was always quite expected, just stop Hauge on the ground. He's not going to do anything. He barely even crosses, I think.
I think like against teams that like park the bus, it's huge to have an aerial threat, because you see sometimes it's just hard to break the lines, and like just whipping in Çalhanoğlu can deliver good crosses, and I think you saw it with Tomori, and it's really important to have those aerial players.
Yeah, it is important to have the aerial players, but when you have these kind of teams that park the bus and it's very difficult to score, you need the aerial, but you also need the players that are going to put in the precise crosses. So you need both. And I mean, I agree, guys. The more weapons you have, the better, for sure. Let's read some of these comments. We've been neglecting the comments a little bit. Let's see what our fans are saying. Let's see. Let's start from this one here. Saif Najir says, this summer transfer window is a perfect chance for us to create a power shift. Well, with any team apart from Napoli and Inter, our chance to kill teams like Juventus and Atalanta, 100%. Flocky says, Ishmael, also, you're going to need to put a donkey in your jersey, because that's how you won the Scudetto, playing like a bunch of donkeys. Yes, the trolling. I love the trolling. Isborn, Kulusevski is just a duplicate of De Bruyne. Jesus, are you sure? What do you mean?
Maybe like look-alike, he's saying. Not like, I don't think he means as a player.
I think
Kulusevski
is good, man. Kulusevski is better than he can play really well on the left and on the right, and it's another player with
they definitely overpaid for him though. Like they paid like 35-40 million. I don't know if he's worth that much. Leao is like worth less. Leao is more quality.
Let's keep on going. DOA says, this guy's name is
Szoboszlai.
Yes, Szoboszlai, Belotti, Berardi. Oh yeah, fuck yeah. Let's do it right away. In. Do you know teams like Liverpool in the 70s only had 16-man squad and they won everything? Seems impossible now.
The 70s, man. That's 40 years ago or more.
Well, in the 70s, there had to be less games because the Champions League was just the teams that won the Scudettis, their own championships. So the Champions League had to be less games for sure.
Yeah.
Gattuso will exploit Vlahovic and send a message to Milan not to get him next season. I disagree, Roy. Inter wants to kill Juventus. Even Lukaku came out and said they will play at the top. All right. Well, hey, if they beat Juventus, better for us, guys. Better for us.
That's the quote. That's the quote I was talking about.
Victor Ferreira says, good night, guys. No, you're being rude here, Mr. Victor. Victor, can you stop being a racist? Okay. And he was the right to wear anything once. Okay. Guys, one quick news for you. Fiorentina gets 10 million from Chiesa if Juventus goes Champions League. So basically, they will play their ass off against Napoli. Otherwise, Commisso would order a hit on them. Right.
Yeah, there are some reasons for Fiorentina to play well, I guess. So that's pretty interesting.
Inter squad have been chilling in training. I doubt they can beat Juve if Juventus cannot. Inter have been chilling in training. Well, if you are more relaxed, that can help you play better, to be honest with you.
But guys, I don't think they can be that relaxed because the Euros is coming up. They got to show something, right? If they are afraid that they might not start for the Euro team.
That's a great point. I'm excited for the Euros. That's something that not people like talk about, and I think that a lot of players, they have to play. Like I think Tomori is one player. He's really trying to show because he's trying to make the English national team. So it's pretty cool.
Nice.
Good point.
Inter squad have been chilling and training. Doubt they can beat Juve, and if Juventus cannot beat this Inter side, they're really that bad because they look relaxed now and ready on vacation. I also agree with you on that. So, double agreement there. Davide Calabria, what do you mean we don't have aerial ability? We have Zlatan, Chiaia, and Tomori.
Chiaia has scored like one goal.
David, I think what Hansu was talking about like in open play. We don't have that. It's only Zlatan really the header. Well, I mean, we don't really need to rely on it. That was my thing. And for last, Inter will lose on purpose, let you the win just to try to fuck us. Always like this. Now I'm out, ciao. Later, man. Just be a little bit more respectful. All right. Hey guys, let's get someone else in. Let's see if someone else wants to join us.
Oh man, have you talked about Çalhanoğlu? Some news is they say he's gonna sign for Juventus. Like basically, Juventus has a 400 million debt, and they're signing everyone basically.
Yeah, is Çalhanoğlu really gonna trade Champions League Milan for Europa League Juventus? Like, what's happening?
Man, newspapers in Italy, they are really bad. I don't know. They just want to put pressure on AC Milan so they don't go top 4. That's the only thing they're doing.
But I don't think so. Hakan looks like he's still playing quite a bit. I mean, doesn't look like he's just given up. I mean,
but
he doesn't look like Leao, for example.
It's not true. He's not talking with Juventus at all. And if he leaves, he's gonna go outside Italy. He's not staying in Italy. He's going to Germany probably.
I don't believe any of these.
I hope that he gets. I just want the contracts. I think after we make the Champions League, everything will fix itself. I think once these contract situations are getting really annoying because these players are always getting pushed with these questions. Just want it to be over.
Yeah, tomorrow's gonna be over, man.
Sunday, right?
No, tomorrow. Tomorrow, Inter is going to win against Juventus.
Oh, right. If Inter wins, yeah. That'll be nice. Sure.
All right, guys. We have Saif joining us. Let me see.
It's getting crowded. The Curva Sud is getting crowded here.
All squad.
There you go. Saif, can you hear us? Hello?
He's not ready. Let's.
Hello, guys. Can you hear me?
Hey, what's up, my man? How you doing? Hello?
I think his connection is a bit.
Gotcha.
He's gonna try again. What is this Milan fan mentality, man?
So this guy, the Inter troll, says Victor's not being this. He kind of was being this. He said, "How's this guy know?" Well, that's a Malaysian shirt, right? I mean, that's the national team.
I'm not wearing an AC Milan shirt. What do you want?
What's more important than wearing your own national team shirt?
What's more important than wearing a proper shirt?
Roy, what national team do you support?
Italy. Same.
Yeah. I mean, I have an Italian citizenship, so I have the right to support it over the United States.
Nice. Saif, can you hear us?
Oh yeah, perfect. Can you hear me?
There you go.
Well, how are you guys doing?
Excellent, Saif. What's going on, Saif?
Well,
what do you want to get off of your chest?
Well, nothing. Just being a Milan fan in these times is very exciting. I'm in a very positive mood. like finally I can go into games with much more confidence now. Like I said Cagliari is a tricky team, but I'm not worried because I know the players are gonna show some balls like they did against Juventus, and I think we're gonna get the job done, hopefully.
Yeah, let's steer this conversation towards this next game. I'm curious to hear what everybody thinks, and let's take it to this. So, Saif, you earlier said that Cagliari is a tricky team, but you're confident. You feel confident. So tell us why you think Cagliari is a tricky team.
Well, I think their position in the table doesn't really reflect the team that they have. They have many players that the top half of the Serie A table would take. Like they have a player called Rizvan Marin. He's actually Romanian, but he's a very vital player with how they play. They took Godin from Inter, which at the time many Inter fans were mad about. They have Nainggolan. Okay, he's not the same player that he once was, but he can make some difference.
Yeah.
And they have like three dangerous players up top. They have Joao Pedro, they have Pavoletti. I think they also have Gio Simeone, if I'm not mistaken.
They have Simeone and they have Nandes. Nandes, the right winger, has been very dangerous.
Just basing it off of names, I think they can cause some damage. We have to be very careful in the team, in the game, and not be complacent.
I agree. I would argue that this game is going to be more difficult than the Juventus game and than the Torino game.
Yeah,
you guys agree?
Yeah, I agree. Especially, I think Cagliari, if I'm not mistaken, don't have missing players. I think they almost have a full squad. I'm not really sure about that. And if they win, they're guaranteed to stay up in the Serie A. I think they will be very pumped. They will be very pumped up for the game.
Yeah, and the other thing that we looked at is that before the Cagliari Milan game, Benevento Crotone are playing. And if Crotone gets something out of that game, then Cagliari is safe. So maybe if Crotone wins or gets a tie, maybe Cagliari doesn't need to come in with so much fire. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I don't think that Crotone is gonna. Yeah, sorry, go on.
No, I think you bring about a completely good point. And one thing that I really want to caution a lot of the Milan fans, and sometimes I think about it a lot, is that are we treating this game about how we treated Spezia before we went into it? We were quite confident. We seemed to be not say that much on a high, but it looked like to be already in the bag, and it wasn't, and we completely got torn apart.
I think a key thing about that game is I think Pioli played a lot of players that recently came back from like injuries. Like I think Benacer played that game, and I think right now what he's doing is he's playing players that are in form, which is the wise thing to do, like Diaz. So I think, and also our mentality right now, like we're putting everything on this game, and I think they know how important it is. So I hope that we'll show up and we play with a much better attitude.
Yeah, you bring up a good point there, Antonio. The difference here is that right now Milan has no excuse not to be fit. Like they are fit.
Yeah.
They're not fit. So it's not going to be easy for Cagliari. It's not going to be an easy game for Cagliari. They have more to worry about than we do. But Larry, what do you think about this upcoming game? What are your thoughts?
I was looking at the table and what match is coming, and I think Cagliari needs just 1 point to save from the relegation.
Yeah,
because Torino is playing against La Spezia and Torino is going to play against Benevento. So basically these three teams are going to kill each other playing with each other, and Cagliari just needs a point to be saved. Probably not even a point, because if Benevento loses or doesn't make enough points against Torino, they can lose both the games against us and Genoa, if I'm not mistaken. So Cagliari is in a comfortable situation. They got a biscotto with Fiorentina last game. Clearly was a 0-0, a gentleman agreement between each other to get a point each, and that's it. So I think I'm not worried about Cagliari. AC Milan, if they play the game properly, like we know, they can win 1 or 2-0 easily. Well, what I'm worried is if Juventus makes points with if Juventus wins against Inter. That's my big concern.
Why is that?
Because if Juventus wins against Inter, it's gonna get closer to us, and I'm worried about the team feeling the pressure.
But if we win and Juventus wins, what does that doesn't mean? I mean, it's done.
If we win against Cagliari, it's done. We're gonna for sure qualify for the Champions League.
Yeah, I don't think there's any excuses. I think we just have to. I mean, obviously, it would be nice if Juventus lose or tie against Inter, but even if worse come to worse, it's up to us. It's in our hands. Let's just go win the game. Just like no excuses. We're in a good moment. We have players. Ibra's not healthy, which is kind of upsetting, but I think we're good enough with Rebic and the way Rebic is playing. So I'm very confident.
What do you guys think our chances are for second place?
Good.
If we win against Cagliari, we can make it.
Atalanta.
Go ahead.
I was saying Atalanta's. I mean, I really don't know because it's weird to see. I think Atalanta will. They always try their absolute hardest against us whenever they play. So I think they're going to. That's going to be a tough game to win, even if we're in good form. But yeah, we have a chance. It's a game against Atalanta. If we win, we win. So
you know what I think? I think I'm more comfortable to play against Atalanta than Cagliari. Like I have more confidence in beating Atalanta than Cagliari. So if we beat Cagliari, I'm pretty sure we can beat Atalanta.
Are we away at Atalanta or are we at home?
The reason why I say that is because Atalanta is going to be playing Milan in a period in which Milan is very healthy. They have this new formula. It's rocking. Milan is a true unit. And Atalanta, we know how Atalanta plays. Atalanta only plays one way. We know where the players are going to be. Cagliari instead is like the last 4 games. They played 4 different ways. It's kind of unpredictable how Cagliari is going to play.
Well, it would be great to finish the season with 81 points, something like that. That's insane. 81 points. It's a lot.
I think the Cagliari game, like Roy said, the stakes are obviously much higher because
the stakes are much higher.
That's what's scaring me. I thought they were a better team, and I think you made a good point because the way we're playing now, we're not playing catenaccio, but we are playing a system that is much more defensive. Like we're much more solid and balanced than we were before. And Atalanta, we were missing a lot of players last time, but they just countered us and destroyed us every time we tried to attack. So that was dangerous.
Yeah. I'm really not scared of Atalanta at all. Again, guys, look at this thing here with Cagliari, and it says tactics. Look at the last 4 games: 3-4-1-2. Then they played a 4-1-4-1. Then they played a 3-4-1-2, and then they played a 4-2-3-1. Very strange. Very strange. Very strange.
Cagliari is saved, man. It's all about tomorrow. If Inter wins against Juventus, the thing is done. Napoli is gonna win it. We are going to win it. Atalanta is going to win it, and the Serie A is gonna be done. Sunday.
We just have to focus on our game. We can't. We don't want to rely on other teams dropping points. We just have to win.
I agree. I think with Cagliari, the difference with Cagliari is that we have to be just a little bit more careful on how. If we approach the game correctly, I said, like, I don't think almost nobody. I think we can beat Real Madrid, for heaven's sake. But we have to approach this game correctly. If we approach it correctly, Carlo Moretti, 100%. We're going to win on Sunday. I'm so confident, no fear. This Floki says, if you got it wrong, Atalanta needs to win against Genoa as well, because if they lose and win against us next week, going to be the same points with Juve and Atalanta, and we will be last.
No.
If we win against Cagliari, we are safe. There's nothing that can change that because Juventus will have. It's mathematically. It's certain. We're 3 points on Juventus. We win against Cagliari, then we'll have the 3 points. And even if we lose against Atalanta, Juventus will be. And if they win, they'll be even points, and we have goal difference. So there's nothing that can change that if we win. If we win against Cagliari, we are safe 100%.
But I want to say something.
Yeah, you're right. If we win against Cagliari, it's done. It's done. It's over.
What Flocky says that if we finish the Serie A with the same point with Atalanta and Juventus and Atalanta go through.
Why would Juventus go through though? Because Atalanta have a better record than Juventus as well, and we have a better record than Juventus.
But I think because they look at the goal difference.
No. Head to head.
Yeah, but if there is 3 teams with the same point, they look at the difference of goal. They don't look at the head-to-head.
Oh.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I heard that from.
I heard that it was
from Pellegatti. He was saying the same. If we finish same point with Juventus and Atalanta, they look at the difference of goals, and we are out.
So our goal.
It's second place or nothing, is it? Second place, is it?
No, because that's only if Atalanta were to lose.
Yes, only if Atalanta loses Sunday. So basically, we are going to end up with the same points with Juventus and Atalanta.
But that's like the chances of that happening are super low.
It's so low. And seriously, I'm the only one who thinks that Inter is gonna score 3 or 4 goals against Juventus tomorrow.
No, I agree. I actually
Inter
agree.
just gonna sit back
It's gonna be like
park the bus.
They wanna win the Serie A and see Juventus outside the Champions League tomorrow more than anyone else. Inter supporter and Inter as a Conte hates Agnelli because he got sacked by Agnelli with no reason 5 years ago, 6 years ago. So he wants to kill Juventus. Gives him. So I think they're gonna win like 3 or 4-0. It's gonna be like a carnage for Juventus.
And also, I don't think enough people understand the consequences of Juve not making the Champions League. Everything will change. Everything. If they do not make it, they are doomed for a very long time. And Inter wants that. Inter wants to distance competition as much as possible for the next few years.
So you know what scares me? If Atalanta in some weird way, if they try to lose against Genoa just to go and beat us in the last game, just to be annoying, but that's not going to happen. But every time, I feel like Atalanta are like our worst nightmare. We do so bad against them. So I'm scared.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We should just aim for second place. I mean, when are we going to claim a season where we've beaten all the top 6 sides? At least
except
once.
for Atalanta, yeah. So we had to beat them in the last game.
It's just about the last push. Take second place. I mean, we were first for 22 rounds. It's not out of our reach.
Yeah, I just hope we get there with less stress so that, all right, we will play for second place, but we're automatically in the Champions League. I just hope that's where we're at.
Yeah,
for sure. I have no fear. Atalanta I'm so sure we're going to kill Atalanta. I'm so sure about it.
Not sure about it.
Because I think Milan just now they figured it out. I'm so sure we're gonna demolish Atalanta. But
one thing I'm sure, the game is gonna be beautiful to watch for sure. If we both are already in Champions League, so the game is gonna be just proper football with nothing to play about, just the second place, is gonna be a great game. Like, it's gonna be insane, attacking both the teams, defending wild. It's gonna be fun to watch that game.
Yeah, it is. So tomorrow, so look at what Flocky says. Lions, don't forget, we saw Agnelli and Bettine, Chinese owner of Inter, hugging each other. Oh, that's
well, you know when you want to do business in Italy, you have to hug the mafia. So I don't think now they're hugging each other. If they have a chance to kill them, they're gonna kill them. Believe me.
All right. Well, we'll see. Let's see.
A draw would be nice too. Anything helps.
So are we all like supporting Inter?
Yes.
No, I'm not supporting Inter.
No way.
I mean, I'm not cheering for them, but I don't want you. I'd rather Inter win than Juve to win. So I mean, I'm not gonna be upset.
To be fair, I'm just being realistic. That's what's going to happen. I've seen Juventus a lot of games this season. There is no chance they can win against Inter or even win against Napoli. If they play against Napoli tomorrow, they cannot win. The state of form is really bad. The pressure they have is enormous. They're not going to win. That's the thing.
I'm just thinking about the Euros. Like a guy like Lukaku, I don't know whether this really happens behind the scenes or not. That maybe the coach of the national team says, since you guys won it, take it easy a bit, maybe sub him off halftime. They don't take any risks getting any of these guys injured for maybe like a knee injury or an ankle injury or ACL.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I'm sure they have right now the opportunity to mitigate, because even for me as an Italian fan of a national team, I don't want to see Barella get injured. I don't want to see Bastoni get injured. So yeah, these are good points.
I hope that quote that Lukaku gave is like true, because he clearly said that they want to win the game. Also, they've been playing Lukaku against like Roma and other teams, so I don't see why they would stop.
Mm. Let's see what Usborne says. He says, I really hope Milan thrash Atalanta and get a revenge for that 5-0 that season, and would like to see Pioli dancing right in front of Gasperini. That would be some way to end the season. I think that is in the books, guys.
The whole team needs to dance in front of them.
Why? What happened with it? Did someone dance in front of Pioli or something?
No, the supporter of Atalanta was singing, Chi non salta rosso nero, and Gasperini was jumping, basically.
Okay.
Gasperini he literally, I think he was talking about how we had all the penalty kicks. Like he was also he made all these excuses. He's just annoying, man.
I want to beat Atalanta next season in a semi-final in Champions League. That's the only game I want to beat them. They can beat us all the games in Serie A this season and next season. I want to beat them in Champions League.
No, but Roy, sorry. If you want to beat them, it starts from the last game of the season. This is why you build up. They're not invincible.
Second or third place for me doesn't change a lot. Of course, there is some money. There's a difference of 4 or 5 million if you go second or third. But the only thing I want to do, I want to beat them in Champions League, just to tell them who is the daddy.
Let's see. Flocky says, if an option for both of them to lose existed, I would definitely choose that one. Zlatan is already at risk not to be able to play for the Euros if he needs a surgery.
That's better for us, to be honest.
Irfan says, Gasperini is like a nagging bitch. Damn. Yeah. It's going to be a crazy weekend, guys. This is probably going to be one of the most exciting weekends that we have experienced as Milan fans in a long time. Definitely a special season.
It just feels weird going back. It's great that we finally have this chance to go back. I just hope everything works out, and it's been like thinking about Milan playing in the Champions League. It's so fun. I can't wait.
Almost surreal.
Yeah, it's been so long.
It feels like another age. So happy, man! I cannot wait.
When did you guys see this trend happening? When did you guys feel this trend? Because I felt it when Gattuso was a coach. When Gattuso was a coach, I felt like, okay, now it seems like we're heading in the right direction. And then when Gianpaolo came in, I was like, fuck, we lost it. back to zero. And then when Pioli came, I was like, nothing is going to change. But then he definitely did a good job.
I'll tell you my personal experience. When they start to talk about Ibrahimovic coming to AC Milan, that was the moment I realized, okay, we're going to make it. For the simple reason that at that time, Quagliarella was scoring like more than 20 goals I think 30 goals in Serie A at the age of 35 or 36, something like that. And I was saying to myself, if we have a player like Ibra as a striker, he's going to score 20 goals, 18 goals a season. And that's the goal we need to go in Champions League. Because as a team, we were going there. We were going 5th position, 6th position, 1 point from the 4th position. So we needed a striker like Zlatan to get those goals and get those 6-7 points we needed. So when Zlatan said, I'm coming back, I was like, that's done. We're going to make it this time. But I never thought we're gonna go first position for 22 games. That was crazy. That was too much. That was an overachievement.
Guys, I have a question. Sorry, go ahead.
You go first. It's fine.
No, my question is slightly off topic, meaning that, okay, Pioli looks like he's probably going to make us get us into the Champions League. But next season, if he doesn't,
here we go.
I'll
What do you guys think?
I'll take a Champions League trophy and go to the Europa League next season. I'll take that. Oh wait, actually that's impossible. Never mind. I'll go far in the Champions League, but I don't know, because I guess staying in the Champions League is the most important thing. So now that I think about it, I don't know if can you fire him though? Like it's so tough.
I personally think that many Milan fans have low expectations for the Champions League. Like, it's not like we are, I don't know, grasshoppers, or I don't know what kind of team in Switzerland, or I don't know, that can just go to the Champions League and get knocked off easily. I think exactly, Inter. They had one of the easiest group stages to go to the second round, and they still bottled it. Let's get that right. The thing is, I think with a couple or maybe 3 extra additions, why not go far in the Champions League? Many worse teams that do not have history went far and surprised everyone. I don't think there's anything that can stop us from doing it.
I agree.
Always.
I'm gonna call it now, guys. Semifinals.
I mean, you haven't even seen the summer team yet.
I'm happy with the quarterfinal. I'm happy with the quarterfinal.
Look, of course,
me too.
Chelsea.
Quarterfinal,
Yeah,
It's always a success for a team like AC Milan to fight at least the quarterfinal. So not getting hammered like Lazio did with Bayern Munich, but fight until the last minute to try to make it for the semifinal. And top 4 every season. That's the most important thing. Top 4 every season. And you're going to see, if you go top 4 every season in 3 or 4 years, the amount of money AC Milan is going to have. Naturally, you're going to win the Serie A. It's going to become natural. The team is going to grow slowly, not like the boost Inter had and now is in the shit. But you're going to grow slowly with the money, with the players, with the manager, the group, everything. So if you keep top 4 and at least quarterfinal in Champions League, that's lovely. That's a great season. It's fun. Football, it's everything.
I'm going to take it one.
Yeah, sorry.
Really fast. I'm going to take one step further. I think we can even win already next season.
Roy, come on.
Europa or Champions League?
Champions League. I think. I'm not saying. I'm just saying we could.
Look, Chelsea's invested much more money than us, but this season they had Lampard at the beginning of the season. They were pretty awful. They somehow earned the Champions League final. So they changed coach. They had everything worked. They don't even have a really strong goal scorer, but it's working out for them. So anything is possible, and they're a big underdog. So of course, there's always a possibility, but I want to see at least slow progress, and I want to see us, consistently get the Champions League, and that's the sign of a good team. So that's really important.
Yeah.
For me, you need to be careful, because I know what Roy is saying. Roy is saying that if we are in a quarterfinal against, let's say, RB Leipzig, we're winning, because they get scared. They see the jersey. They see the San Siro full, 90,000 people shouting AC Milan. They struggle, and we can win that. So I understand what Roy says. Roy says that the mental factor is so strong in Champions League that when you see a big team like Borussia Dortmund made it to play against Man City, and they have an okay team, not an incredible team. So AC Milan is that level of club. Or Real Madrid this season was awful, and they made it to the semi-final anyway. So you put that fear to the opponent that you can actually make it and be successful. But I don't want people, if we don't make it, say, "Oh, Pioli out because he's not good enough. He should have put that player, not that player." No.
For what? For what exactly?
If next season we don't make it in semi-final in Champions League,
because
we don't have a team to make it. That's the thing.
I think the best teams can. I know it's tough to ask, but the best teams can manage playing achieving good league goals, good domestic goals, and good European goals. I'm not saying, I know prioritizing the top 4, like you said, is really important, but Pioli and the team just has to approach every game, no matter what players they have, with you have to try to win every game you play. And I think if you have that attitude, you'll be successful in something. And so if Pioli, if the team can performs well, and if, I don't want to say like specifics, but if we go and approach a season in a positive way, and it shows that we are a good team, and we fight for every game, I don't think we're going to fire Pioli. So from what's been happening.
I would love to see next season a Europa League final, Juventus against Inter. That would be lovely to see.
Juventus against Inter. Europa League final.
Yeah, that would be lovely.
Don't you think that we should take this next Champions League and maybe the one after as, getting our team oriented with the standards, because they're all still quite young. So they need to play against world-class players. They need to defend against players like Messi and I know Haaland and all this. So maybe the semi-final is quite a bit of a stretch, but I guess one point is that not all teams in the Champions League have actually a target to win it. I think there are some teams that are just, okay, let's just do our best. Let's just take the money and, keep the cycle going.
I agree. I think the farther you get as well, the more money you get. So the more you advance, that's a big motivation. You get as far as possible, and hope, but you don't have to win. And I think a lot of our players haven't played in the Champions League before, so it's going to be tough. But also, we do have the potential to keep up with some of the big teams. I think, like Man United.
I'm sure about it. Guys, I'm not saying this because I'm being biased. Like I literally feel it. Like I see the way the team plays, the technical ability. I see the projection of the players.
Yeah, Roy, I have to agree though. Like recently, look at the quality of goals that we've scored. Like look at Diaz, Rebic, like the goals that we score. Like Milan hasn't always been like playing at this level. So I think at this level we could definitely take on some big teams. Like Diaz literally dribbled, bent it around a defender into the top corner perfectly. Like look at the quality that he just showed. Like we have these players.
Yeah,
well, how would you guys rotate? Sorry.
No, finish.
But how would you guys rotate the team then? Because you can't be playing the same 11 in the league and in the Champions League playing the same 11.
Yeah, no, it will depend on the transfer market. They have to do a good job in the transfer market. They have to do a good job in the transfer market. And you know what? Every time Milan is in the Champions League, at least this is how it's been historically, there's always a big surprise. There's always a name that you would have never expected, and then all of a sudden we have this huge name. Nobody would have said, no, that's impossible. He will never come to Milan. And then all of a sudden, the guy is taking a picture with the Milan shirt. So that is something that we have experienced in the past, and maybe it can happen again. We will see.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
Also, if I may add something, many people confuse us with Inter, because I think when they first returned to the Champions League, their team was, in my opinion, nowhere near as good as the team we have now. And so it took much longer for them to get used to the Champions League, or to move further as a club. While in our position, we're talking just a few more additions to really compete, to stay with the big dogs. We don't need 2 fullbacks, a center back, 2 playmakers, and a striker. We don't need all of that. So I think that plays a big factor.
They never got used to the Champions League. Look at where they ended up. They never got used to it.
No, I mean, it took much longer for them to even compete in the league. When they first made the Champions League. It took 3 or 4 years for them to establish themselves as a quote-unquote big club, again. But it's different for us. We already have a foundation, a team. We just need a few more additions, and that's it.
They spend a lot of money. That's true. They spend 30 million for Barella, 80 million for Lukaku, 30 million for Skriniar, and another 50 million for Hakimi. Plus a lot of old players with high salaries. So they invest a lot to, at the end of the thing, be not even trying to win it, not even getting close to the Champions League competition.
And also the people say the DNA of Champions League of Milan is a myth. It's now real. The team is not good enough like it used to be. We do have a DNA. Even Maldini himself being in the team creates a difference, brings confidence in players. I'm sure he talks a lot to the players. I'm sure before every Champions League match He's gonna show them videos. He's gonna motivate them a lot, and that's a big influence having someone like him in there.
You know, Teo Hernandez actually has a very close relationship with Maldini, and he's said it multiple times that Maldini always tries to talks to him about playing left back, and Maldini even said when we got Hernandez, he was like, yeah, Hernandez can be one of the best left backs in the world. When we bought him, he said that in the press conference. So that was I think he's always had that confidence. So that just shows you.
Yeah, but no doubt there's quality within the team. But think about the Champions League game. We need to rotate. Are you guys all right with seeing Krunic in the starting 11?
No, of course not.
Not
Of course
not against Bayern Munich.
No, man. Sunday's gonna play Auge, and Wednesday's gonna play Gareth Bale. Do you know him? He's gonna play.
I wish. I actually, you know what? You guys want to talk about Hauge? Because I was kind of upset about the fact that he didn't come in when we were against Torino. What do you guys think?
Before I say something, Albania, they all support an Italian club, almost all of them. But unfortunately, a lot of them support Inter because Ronaldo. And not a lot of people support Juventus, and most of them support Inter and AC Milan. But I think whole Eastern Europe love Italian football. I think I don't want to say something wrong.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of Eastern European players in Italy too that play there.
Milan has a lot of Eastern European players, I think.
Yeah, Lazio has Savic. There's a lot. They're not coming to my mind, but there's a lot. Let me read a few more comments and then let's go into that highway thing.
Yeah, I'll get.
Necklord says, I'm a realist. It will be amazing to just get off at group stage. Now, I wanted to read something here that Sami Chai wrote, which could be interesting. I wonder what you guys think. Don't forget, we will be fourth tier, right? Fourth pole tier. So we will be facing two world-class teams, at least in the group stages. Something to think about.
Well, that depends about what Napoli does. And that depends against Atalanta, too, how seriously we take those games. So nothing is set in stone. Nothing is decided yet.
But guys, if we want to know where we're really at, we need to play the strongest team and the strongest players out of the team. Then we really know where we're at.
I agree.
100%.
That's true, but
100%.
it's also good to get out of their group and make more money. So that's
yeah, but I agree with Hansu there. And I don't fear these teams. But obviously, getting off the group stage is good. I mean, sometimes you got to be lucky in your draw too. Carlo Moretti says it's got to be the best team. Erfan says I want Milan to face Barcelona. Isborn, who's been very critical of Pioli, says Pioli if he starts both the league and CL with bad results next season. Pioli out if he starts both badly.
Well, if he starts good, what are you gonna do? You're gonna give him a raise? What's that?
if he's throwing away our season.
No, if he starts good, he's just doing his job.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, that's it, because it's easy.
Well, what if he is throwing? What if he's throwing the
That's the
season
funny
away?
thing.
Pioli has to convince me. He has to convince me.
Guys, I'm sure the Pioli out gang, and I count myself as one of them. We aren't out. We haven't disappeared. We're just quiet. When things start to turn for the bad, we'll be back.
But that's the thing. Why people don't appear at the moment that is harder to say. Just say Pioli out now. Just give me a reason why Pioli should leave. Now,
Right
no
now.
one is losing
Right
game.
now.
You know, like
The thing
he's not guaranteed Champions League yet. You know, he can still screw this up. By the way.
Also, yeah,
Yeah.
we've only seen him 2 games like playing like this, so we have to see how long they can keep that up for.
Now it's been all the season. It's been just 2. Pioli and AC Milan had 2 bad months, and those 2 bad months is because we had an insane amount of injuries, like something that no manager can deal with. No manager.
Larry, you make a lot of excuses for Pioli, Larry.
Well, I can make the same excuses for Klopp. He had 2 injury, Van Dijk and another centre back, and he's not making the top 4 in England. And Klopp is a better manager than Pioli, and he has a better team than Pioli.
I think
Sorry, go ahead.
what I'm critical about Pioli, but I have to admit right now he's kind of proved me wrong for the time being. Is like I didn't think that he had like the ability or like the courage to like change things and try to adapt, and he's trying it now. Or he was smart enough to like change our system into something that would work. It looks like now, but
Antonio, but let me just tell you something, okay? Like and I'm not here patting my own shoulder or being facetious or anything, but like the tactics that Pioli adapted were literally the tactics that I said he should have adapted before even. I mean, it's not like he's doing something incredibly smart. He's doing what is logical.
Right, but will he be smart enough against teams like to adapt mid-game to judge, to go game by game, to play against the best teams in Europe to outsmart those managers? That's what I'm saying. Is he a top-class manager? That's
Roy, but
that's where I will.
You have to realize something that what we see and the changes we want to do, we treat it like it's a video game for us. We say, oh, take off Romagnoli and put Tomori. But Pioli has to deal with the human aspect as well. He needs to tell the guy that he's playing for Pioli and he's playing pretty well. Listen, you're going to go to the bench.
Right, he's paid to do so.
That's really complicated.
His job.
No, but actually, I want to agree there with Larry because that is part of being a coach. That is probably 70% of being a coach is right there. And I gotta say, Pioli gets an A, not an A+, but he gets an A for me in that department.
Except for Hauge, I have to add.
There's two things, yeah. This season was built on an unbeaten, you could say, not a winning streak, an unbeaten run, and a dip in form. Next season, which do you think is more likely going to happen? Are we going to have another unbeaten run? Somehow, I think it's going to be a bit of a stretch. So, Pioli, I think he's met the target if he wins tomorrow, of course. But then, as soon as it starts to slip up, the hammer is coming down.
You have to be fair. Like if he's doing a bad job and if he doesn't meet the objectives, that's when a soccer coach or a football coach faces like the chance of getting sacked. Like that's the way it works for every team. If he's not hitting the goals, yeah, of course we should consider sacking. We can't just live on like the past when we haven't won anything yet. So like what you have to be fair.
But it's not fair because he was second position with AC Milan and everyone was saying Pioli out. That's not fair. That's what I'm saying.
No. Like if he's in a Champions League spot, I'm not gonna say okay he should be sacked. But if we miss out on the Champions League and if we start the season horribly, then what are we gonna do? Just like end up like 10th in the table?
I don't think it's gonna happen. I think AC Milan next season is gonna do even better than this season. It's gonna lose less game. And hopefully, if the club gives him a proper striker, which Ibrahimovic is, but it's just for 15 games a season.
Yeah.
But a striker that actually can play 30 games a season, I'm sure Pioli is going to win a lot of games that this season he didn't win because he didn't have a proper striker. That's another thing too.
I also think. Listen, I was Pioli out for a bit of time, not fully. I was in the middle. I think some cases that the Pioli outers make is that he should have secured the Champions League qualification by now. Not challenged for the league. He should have at least secured that. But having said that, bring any coach in the world right now, even Zidane, Klopp, I don't care, anyone. Would he actually have done a better job than Pioli until now? I don't think so. I think he worked well to an extent with the team that he has. And we're quick to judge him. Let's see him with a couple extra or 3 more extra world-class players, and then we're gonna properly judge him.
That's my opinion. I talked about this on another pod like earlier with Roy on another day, and it takes a special coach for our situation with Ibra as his own sort of like a player coach. Also in the situation where we weren't a top club. With Gianpaolo, he came in and he kind of just put a system, he put the players in the system. Ibra had a huge part in that, and then and he was a good manager, and so that started our journey. So yeah, and maybe Milan doesn't. We're a young team. We don't necessarily need a world-class manager yet, is what I'm saying. So Pioli is kind of unique in that sense.
No, but sorry, your name, Antonio. on that point, do you think Pioli has the guts? If we get a new number 9, we may need for Champions League. Do you think he has the guts to bench Ibra? If you know that Ibra maybe he's not at 100%.
Yeah, exactly. I hope Ibra. No, and my answer is no. I don't, because like I said, I'm not like a Pioli in person. I'm judging it fairly. But I think Ibra. It's going to come down to Ibra if he has like the humility to like realize that he's old and that he needs to kind of limit himself a bit, because Pioli is not going to tell Ibra not to play if he wants to play.
Right.
Yeah, but I think this is one of the points for the Pioli out crew is that
yes, of course.
one of the things that why people want Pioli out, not just because of some of the games that we lost and the way that we lost, but also the development of some players. And I think this links quite closely to the Hauge discussion.
Yeah.
What's wrong with Hauge? What's wrong with what's the defender that was
Gabbia?
Gabbia, yeah. What's wrong with Gabbia? I don't know what's wrong with him.
That's a great point.
Gabbia was a big part of our unbeaten run. I don't know why he's been cast into the unknown.
Yeah, I totally agree. Hauge and Gabbia are two players that I.
But guys, in all fairness, if you like right now, if you have your defenders that are your starters, those are the players that are going to play, especially in the end of the season. The players, like, you're not going to see Maldini, you're not going to see Gabbia, we're probably not going to see Kalulu anymore. We're barely going to see Dalot unless we have injuries. But if a team is not injured, you want to have your best players at the end play the game and have those players just if things go bad. But hey guys, before Sorry, guys. Let me just read a few comments and then.
I just wanted to say, Roy, what about in the Torino game when we were winning like 3-0, 4-0, and he didn't sub in Hauge or Gabbia in that sense? That would have been a great opportunity. That's why I was so upset. Like Hauge, I thought, okay, at least now give Hauge a chance. You give Krunic a chance.
But because he wants to keep fit Krunic, which is his first choice for a difficult game if he needs to make a change.
And
I think that's
the manager keeps happy the players he relies the most. At the moment, he's not relying on Hauge. He's relying on Krunic. He's relying on Brahim Diaz, on Leao, Castillo, Selemacher. Hauge is the third, fourth choice. He's not relying on him, so he needs to keep fit those players.
So do you guys think that we should get rid of Hauge then?
No. I think Hauge just needs to do like maybe a season on loan and get some experience, get some playing time, and prove himself. It's going to be very difficult. Or let's see, maybe during the summer he's going in training what he shows in training. But guys, let me just read a few comments before we move on because we've neglected the chat a little bit. So let's get to what our friends are saying. Because I'm reading some very interesting things here. We need at least one season in the Champions League without expectations. The depth isn't there to compete in both. Okay, so a very balanced opinion. Samu Chai says, I can't understand where all this optimism comes from. Teams that fight for the top 8 places in the CL don't lose against Lazio 3-0 like we did. I mean, it's different periods of the season. Then the motivations are completely different.
Yeah. We're a different team now.
Carlo Monetti says PM3 transfer market masterclass inbound. What does PM3 mean? Does anybody know?
No, I don't know.
Just answering the comment of Sami before. PSG is losing the league against Lille, and they were in semi-final.
Right.
A lot of other teams, big teams, they did bad games. So
sometimes you see Granada beat Real Madrid, just
exactly.
random stuff.
Elche beating Real Madrid.
Spezia beating Milan, right. Eastbourne, Milan would get the champions of England, Spain, Germany, Holland, Russia, and there would be another team if we're lucky. Then 3 tough teams in the group.
All of them would be...
No, one of them.
No, 2.
We wouldn't get all. They're gonna get 1.
We'd get Campioni, Vice Campioni, one of those.
That's a Super League right there.
Carlo Moretti says, gotta have bad games sometimes, Sammy. Can't win them all. Yeah. Eastbourne says, don't forget that Conte might even leave if Inter don't have a finance plus they would need to sell Lukaku Kimi. All right, so that's the Inter discussion. We didn't have just one bad game, unfortunately. Lille, Atalanta, Lazio, Inter, Spezia. Yeah, I think we had. I think I was looking at the stats. 7 games. I think we lost 7 games total. Erfan says in Iran we have many fans.
He just said the last comment said we are a mediocre team. I disagree 100%. Look, we had those bad games, but we're definitely not a mediocre team. I'm telling. I know I refer to this game a lot because it's like one of the only times we played like another big European team. But look at how we played against Man United, which is a team that everybody praises, and tell me that we didn't play good against them. Tell me that we didn't deserve to go through.
That game was stolen, man.
With our
we should have got the Kessie goal.
Yes,
we're
exactly.
not. We're definitely not a mediocre team. Like we're definitely not a mediocre team. In Iran, we have many fans. Flocky says, Larry, you got it wrong. Milan has the most Albanian fans. Facebook page, we got almost 1 million Albanians, and Inter has only 400,000.
Man, just push this channel on your Facebook page, man. Bring it all here next time.
yes. Bring that whole page here.
Bring all the countries on YouTube, man.
Juventus is more than Inter. Also, Roma has some around 45. Sammy Castillo says we have to keep doing like we're doing. Buy players like Theo, Benacer, Diaz Tomori, not spending I don't know about that, Mr. Sammy. See what Napoli did.
Realistically, anyone we buy is probably going to have 6 or 7 bad games starting out. I think that's the expectation for any new player.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if like 6, but is like the magic number. But yeah, they're gonna have to find the place to fit. But you have to see like their desire to improve and to keep playing.
Yeah, look at Benacer when we first got him. Belia was starting over him. Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to address this comment right here. So we have to keep doing like what we're doing. Like if we make the Champions League, we don't need to do that anymore. Like if we make the Champions League and we already have this foundation of young players, then maybe buy some. But at this point, once you're in the Champions League, you have to get the real deal, man. You can't be gambling on youngsters.
No, you need big players because these players they improve if they are surrounded by big players. They need the example of a top player to know how to train, how to stay tactically, mentally, how to evolve. Ibrahimovic improved this team because he showed to them that's how a big player does it. And they improved every one of them, from Kessie to Benacer to Theo Hernandez. Everyone looked the example. Imagine if you have 3 of them, like in each position.
Yeah. Liar, you made a very good point another day when you said that like you can tell like the Ibra effect when he comes in and plays, and then like the game after we're still pretty good, but slowly without him over time we get worse. So I agree 100% that you need some big players. Yeah.
His magic starts to dissipate after he misses 2 or 3 games. The team kind of loses that connection. But just one more thing about what Sami said. Like, what you're saying is what Milan should have done 3 years ago, and they did, and it worked.
Yeah,
Sami. All right, so let's keep on going. Eastbourne says if we finish second, Milan would be in part 4 because of the UEFA coefficient. Okay, that's what it is. Among the top 6 Serie A clubs, Milan is the only team which haven't qualified for the CL since. Damn, that's too much.
Are you serious? So even if we come in, so it doesn't matter if we're second place, we still are like 4th, like in a 4th spot. Okay, so then who cares about Atalanta? What's the point?
Larry, so it's okay if we're not going top 4 next season. I'm not sure what.
I think that was about Pioli, if I have to guess.
Okay.
People want Pioli fired more than AC Milan top 4 next season. It's like I don't understand what is wrong. It's a masochism.
Hey, if Pioli turns into Guardiola, that'd be nice.
If Pioli turns to Ferguson and we keep it for 20 years, it means we've been winning for 20 years. So I prefer that than Pioli sucked. You know what I mean? But
yeah, I prefer a Champions League than.
I think actually Saif said it best the other day. He said a phrase that stuck with me, which I'm gonna use today. I'd rather be wrong and happy than be right and sad.
Exactly.
So I like that phrase by saying. I like Flocky says I like Pioli, but he's not the guy to take us to. Oh shit! Look at this one. I like Pioli, but he's not the guy to take us to the next level. He deserves to play one season in Champions League, but for me, now is a chance to get a real manager to spend money. I agree. He deserves a chance in Champions League, at least one. But I agree with Laird. It's so sad to not let him have one season in Europe. No, yeah, he does definitely deserve the season.
Guys, Pioli will not be fired if we make the Champions League. That's just a fact.
there's no way.
So don't worry, he will have a chance in Europe.
And that's why I'm not even thinking about a new manager, because I already know. And I think we all know that even if they make the Champions League,
and there is no good managers around at the moment. They're all taken, in my opinion. Manager to the level of AC Milan, they're all taken. So just keep Pioli.
I think you know what? I think Mourinho wanted to go to Milan, but Milan is not going to get rid of Pioli. So because I heard he actually released like a quote saying, I love Inter, but I don't mind joining like one of their biggest rivals." And I think that was speculating that Milan would give him a chance, but I think Milan have made it clear that Pioli's staying. So that's why.
Guys, here's a question: would you take Benitez?
No way,
no.
man. Benitez. Even Mourinho is so out of touch, man. Mourinho doesn't know how to talk with young players. He's telling them, you suck, you're not training really well. You're going to stay in the bench for the next 5 games.
Liar, what do you think about playing Roma next season? Are you scared at all?
We're going to beat them really bad if Zaniolo is not playing. That's the only thing.
Okay, I'm going to say something controversial, okay? Are you ready? I prefer Pioli to Mourinho.
Me too, 100%.
Well, look right now. I wouldn't get Mourinho. I wouldn't trade Mourinho for Pioli right now, because Pioli's is completing his objective. That's what I'm all about, objectives. So right now, I wouldn't trade him. But next season, if we do horrible, then I don't know about that. That's what I'm saying.
I prefer to pay $6 million a year a striker than my manager.
That's actually a great point. Coaches make too much money. Like Conte, he wants a pay increase. So
I mean, the thing is, if we have Mourinho, then the game is going to be so different. It's going to be the defense is going to play very low. The whole team is going to play like in our own half. We're going to rely on counterattacks. The kind of players are going, like Benacer in a Mourinho team would not exist. You know,
but wouldn't it unlock someone like Leao or like Hauge?
That's a good point.
They will be in the stadium and watching the game without even the shirt with Mourinho.
Yeah, look.
Wouldn't that risk destroying all of our foundations, though?
AC Milan, the fans, the culture wants beautiful football. If you don't deliver, you're going to get so much. You can win every single game, but if you're playing like shit, the Milan fans are going to shit on you.
Do you think that, like, were we ever in a position, though, like, didn't we have to prioritize, like, getting results over beautiful football for a while because of how bad we were before? Like, you know what I mean?
Well, that's what kind of happened when you had that Seedorf and, after Ancelotti, that's kind of the direction we took. And it worked for that year with Allegri, but then it all fell apart. Even I've said this a million times here, I hated the way Milan played under Allegri. Like, I didn't enjoy that at all.
I enjoyed the Scudetto, though.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, of course. Let me read this one. Mike Asto says, Howard just needs a preseason. Yeah, I agree. The kid came in already 20 games through the season in Norway. I don't think this season much was expected, and he did well and called upon. Honestly, yeah, guys, at this point, we don't need to care about any of these players. Right now, we just need to care about the objective, have the best players play, the more fit players. Sorry, I grew. Okay, Sami, which we have been disagreeing a lot with Sami. So he says, sorry, I grew up watching a stellar Milan. Yeah. When I see what we are now, I can't do anything but to consider ourselves a mediocre team compared to that team.
My first reaction to that is all of football has changed from those times. Now you don't see players with this like that same like now players with quality are just athletic, to be honest. They're faster. They don't have the same sort of qualities as technical players like before. I think of course not as good as those teams because first of all, those teams won Champions Leagues. I'm not saying that we're going to win the Champions League this year, but can we compete? Of course. We're all saying that we can compete in the Champions League. We're not saying we're the
Sami is
greatest
right
team
about
in
one
Europe.
game. Sorry. Sami is right about one game. You remember the game at home against Manchester United? Samu as a false 9 and Koenig as a number 10. That is a mediocre
Yeah,
team.
that
right
is
there.
yes. That's why we have to get some players in the offseason to become more of a Champions League team to get that depth.
Yeah, I mean, I still feel like this team is filled with top players, and
I have a question. Why don't we go around name players in right now that are world class? Do you think? And then we can name some players that we should consider getting rid of.
in Milan,
Yeah, because I think it's good to just talk about this.
World class: Gigi Donnarumma, Calabria, Kjaer, Tomori, Theo, Kessie, Benasser, Diaz, Çalhanoğlu, Ibrahimovic,
Rebic.
Rebic and Çalhanoğlu, I don't think they are world class.
I think Rebic is more world class than Çalhanoğlu, to be honest.
I mean, world class is a big word. Okay, world class is a big word, but
Champions League quality, we'll say.
Somewhere over there. Like, if these players are world class, then what is Messi? Is Messi like?
Yeah, he's from Jupiter. But
Right.
Listen, Rebic, I think you can definitely say Rebic is in this. Look at the goals that Rebic can score. Does Rebic not have that quality?
Yeah, I think he does.
Exactly, yeah.
But don't you remember how Rebic played in the first half of the season? You remember when Zlatan was injured? We tried it a striker back then, and he kept laying off the.
But do you
ball.
remember?
I think it was to Leao.
Yeah,
And
that
he
was a
never
mess.
shot.
That was a mess. But do you remember the end of last season? How Rebic was always on the left wing. Rebic was taking on players one by one, turning, crossing the ball. Rebic, I think injuries also kind of messed him up this year. But Rebic is a great player when he's healthy and when he's got the right attitude.
Rebic is the type of player who needs confidence. If he scores one game, he's gonna score the other. He's gonna score the other.
Yeah.
The first half of the season, his confidence was on the floor. In my opinion.
And guys, by the way, I think all the players we just named are in our starting lineup, right? So that just kind of shows we need to improve our bench and our rotations. 100%.
And that's what will happen. Once we get in that Champions League, that is what will happen. All right, guys, let me keep on reading.
the right wing position also, I would improve, of course.
Oh, Salamakers, who knows? Salamakers could potentially become a top player. But hold on, guys. Let me just keep on reading some of these comments. Milan squad value is more than 500 million. Wow, that should not be counted as a mediocre team. That's the squad. Sami, man, you be more optimistic. Sami is not happy right now. I think we should do. Hold on. I think we should do like Inter with Conte, sack Pioli to upgrade to a coach that will compete for a Serie A and guarantees top 4. If we don't sack Pioli, we're risking top 4. Khalid, what's up?
We're not sacking Pioli now, guys.
Let's ask Khalil if he considered sacking Pioli, who is gonna he replace him with?
Well, whoever he replaces him.
There's not a realistic name on the market now that will take Milan to a better level right now. No one could come.
No one in the short term. No one in the short term.
It's about the profile. You need a coach that works with young players. You're gonna have a coach that always manages stars because we don't have a team full of stars.
Exactly.
What about
He's a
Sarri?
40-year-old star, and you have to play him. And I want to see a top manager say, "Oh yeah, I would love to sign for that."
And also,
Other managers are asking for 100 million striker. We are asking a top manager to manage a team with a 40-year-old striker.
no, another thing. The point about Pioli. Sorry, the point about Pioli not making young players better. Like, I'm pretty sure when he came in, there were many questions about Kessie. We were saying that he's a donkey in the midfield.
Yeah.
Benasser was suspect. Theo Hernandez, was quality from Real Madrid.
Wait, who was saying Kessie was a donkey?
No, before Pioli. Come on, bro.
Kessie was not as good. Yeah, Kessie was nowhere near what he is now. Pioli put the 4-2-3-1. Kessie became that holding midfielder under Pioli that really excelled. to be honest.
He took players like you see and Benacer to the next level. So I'm not really sure about the point that he did not improve players because he clearly did. He improved Rebic. Rebic under Gianpaolo was
Calabria.
terrible.
What about Calabria?
Exactly.
Calabria as well. Yeah.
He's
Everyone on the Gianpaolo was
Pioli-
bad. Come on.
Pioli,
One.
yeah. Gianpaolo, if you wanna go to Serie B, there's one person that gets you that objective.
Well, that's
Yes.
gonna happen if you fire Pioli. You're gonna get another Gianpaolo.
What
Exactly.
happened? What about Sarri?
I
I
wouldn't.
don't like Sarri.
I wouldn't
I don't like
hire
Sarri.
him. Look, right now, I wouldn't really fire unless you're getting Guardiola or Klopp or somebody like that. I'm not gonna fire Pioli right now because we're in the top 4.
Yeah,
But-
yeah.
But if in the future, I mean, if Pioli doesn't work out, Saudi is okay. But that's not.
Ma-
we don't have to
I'm
think about
hoping-
that.
I'm hoping for Mancini because I think Mancini has the
Yes.
right. He's a good head and he plays really nice football. All right, Ali says, "What if Klopp is fired and we have a chance to bring him in?" And
Klopp's a great coach.
Again,
Klopp is not going to get fired from Liverpool.
Yeah.
He's never going to get fired.
I mean, look, the thing is, whoever we bring in, that means that it's going to be 1 year of rebuilding and reshuffling.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day,
listen, a great team, in my opinion, puts a great manager when they have a lot of money to spend. Because they put the manager, the new great manager, and they tell him what player you need and I'm going to buy it for you so you can show your game. At the moment, we are not that great team or that great club to go and spend 200 million for a new manager like Guardiola or Klopp and buy him a big players every season or 2 big players every season. Because we're not that team, we need to stick with Pioli, pray that he gets it right, and we go top 4 for at least 2 years. And after 2 years, we get a great manager with a great team.
We can't pretend. That's a great point. Like, in all honesty, right now, because of our past 10 years, past how many years of missing the Champions League, you can't pretend that we're on the same level as these other giant super teams.
yeah.
We have a great history. We can be there again, but we need to start with the cycle, and we need to keep Pioli for now to stay in that cycle of Champions Leagues.
No, yeah, and it's true. You definitely need a certain infrastructure when you have these big coaches that with big names and all that. Let me continue. Eastbourne says Mourinho is done, to be honest, but let's see what he does with Roma next season. His tactics might still suit. Yeah, his tactics definitely do suit this area. Flocky says you can't call a team mediocre after all the suffering they did for 10 years with financial problems and shitty players. This season, we can only call ourselves decent. From mediocre to decent. Eastbourne says, I don't think Klopp will come to Milan. I feel Pep will be more of the guy who will come. Oh, I would love to have Pep because he's admiring talking about Milan from the past. Yeah.
Yeah, but Pep's not coming as long as Ibra's playing with us. So because they have serious beef.
Right. The philosopher. Ibra calls Pep Guardiola the philosopher. Flocky says, to overcome a big shitty 10 years of hell, obviously you're going to have some games when you're off. Year by year, we showed progress, even though sometimes it can really piss you off, but you can't say mediocre. No, I agree. It's definitely, I don't think it's a mediocre team. Not even close. Pablo Diak says, we should try to sign Patson Daka from Salzburg, Belotti, or Clivert Lewis. Hey,
Daka's very good. He scored over 30 goals, I believe, but he does play in the Austrian league, but he played in the Champions League this season. He's good, but I don't think Milan have showed serious interest in him, and I think he'll be kind of expensive, maybe high 20 million, 20 million.
I really like that. There is a player in the United States. He's 17 years old. He's an attacking midfielder. I don't remember his name, but he's really good.
Who does he play for?
In the United States?
Yeah, he plays in MLS.
Who does he play for, do you know?
Oh, I don't remember. It's a blue shirt, but he's really good.
Blue is
not the one who went to Salzburg already, right? Because that one's
no. I think he's still playing there. He's 17 years old.
Is it light blue? Light blue?
Light blue, I think is that. Let me check.
So that's probably New York, the New York team. Or Montreal plays in blue. Khalid says Allegri. He would like to see Allegri. Carlo Moretti says, right on, Flocky. The past 10 years have been shit. Time to enjoy some beautiful football again. Yes, sir. All right. Sorry, Allegri or Ancelotti in 20. No. We're going back in
I don't
the
think they're
past
coming
now.
back, to be honest.
After Pioli
managing Everton now, and he doesn't even care about the results. So
Ancelotti said that every 24 years the Italian national team wins the World Cup. So now it's getting close to the 24th year. What are we? What are 26, 24? No, not yet.
It's gonna take a bit.
2006.
It's gonna take a while, man.
It's gonna take a while. Never mind. How many trophies or CL caps do these players have? How can you consider them top players? No, I think they are. I think that they're on their way to becoming top players. Because it's not because I'm being biased. It's because you see it. Like when I saw Pirlo the first time and Gattuso, like they didn't have any caps, they didn't win anything, but I could tell, these guys are gonna fucking dominate European football for the next 10 years. And that's what happened. Like you see it. You see, even when Kaká came in, Kaká was a nobody. But then he started performing, and you see the projection. You can only speculate. Obviously, you can get it all wrong, for sure. Yeah.
I think
There's also a reason why many top players want players like Donnarumma, Kessie. Barcelona was prepared to pay like 50 million for Benacer. That's not a mediocre team. Come on.
Yeah, when Real Madrid wants Kessie, then you know that these guys are world class. Also, just to add, like how to tell if a player has like a lot of quality. For me, it's not necessarily about how much you win is important, but right now Milan, we're playing with a team that doesn't really have that like history. Like this team hasn't like played for that long together, so we're still building, so they haven't had the chance to win anything yet. And I think that the way to judge is by the levels that they play, what they can do. Can they score goals? Can they win one-on-one matchups against other players? Can they really make a difference? That's how you tell in our position.
I think spot on that. I think we're gonna have world-class performances. We don't really need world-class players. Those world-class players like CR7, and if people behind him don't know what to do, then it's no point just having him on the team.
Yeah, and also, if you want to talk about caps and all this kind of stuff, well, let's look at Benacer. Benacer won the African Cup of Nations, and then not only won the African Cup of Nations, he won the MVP of the whole tournament. So that already tells me that his projection is pretty good, right? Like the players that win those kind of tournaments aren't normal players. These are very important players.
Rebic was a World Cup finalist starter for Croatia, so that's
and Mandzukic as well.
Yeah, but Mandzukic, I think that was Mandzukic is kind of not as good as he used to be, but he was a class player.
Yeah,
but guys, I would triple Benacer's salary if you can bring Riyad Mahrez in. I think on the right wing.
I love Riyad Mahrez is unbelievable.
That'll be a nice signing.
Right winger, that'd be perfect.
Man, that's a big jump from Casti to Mahrez. I don't know if I can handle that.
That would imagine like attacking from the right side. It's like, all right, sub out Casti. Put in Riyad Mahrez. But did you guys see Casti against Torino when he basically there was an open net and he kicked it into the ground and it deflected off the post? That was kind of disappointing.
He's a terrible player, man. He's a terrible player. He's atrocious. He's fucking bad, I swear.
Wait a second, I think Krunic has more goals than Samu.
I mean, Samu got that clutch goal against Sampdoria when we won 2-1. To ease the game a bit the first time we played them. And but Krunic got the nice free kick. Krunic also made that horrible mistake against Celtic. I don't know, they're both similar.
These players, they're not players that are going to change the way your team plays, but if a team plays well, these players are going to play.
Exactly.
Let's keep on going. Flocky says, only guy would sack Pioli for is Allegri, no one else. You need crazy, passionate guy like him with lots of experience. He can really teach guys like Diaz to be tough and nasty. Okay, let's keep on going. I wouldn't mind, Pavlo Diaz says, I wouldn't mind Gasperini. He's interesting.
Gosh.
Eastbourne says Ralph Ragnick would be the perfect guy for the Milan project if they sack Pioli. We can build a competitive team for both the league and CL. Just look at Leipzig, a club who existed just a few years back.
Guys, what has Ragnick actually won? I don't think he's won anything.
Yeah, and Ragnick is more of like he starts a project. He hasn't finished, like he hasn't achieved that much success. I think Pioli is just as good as him in the sense that Pioli's starting this project with Milan in his own style. So
I gotta say, since I am not very familiar with football outside of Italy, I didn't even know this person existed. So I can't even really have an opinion about Ragnick.
Ragnick was like this close to being Milan's coach, and like he, apparently,
No,
yeah.
I know
Do you remember that?
I know that, but I've never. Who did he coach before? Salzburg?
Leipzig, I believe.
Oh, Leipzig. So to me, when I heard that name, it was like, who the hell is that? So I can't really have many opinions about that particular coach. I don't know much about it. Okay, let me continue here. Samu Charlie says, aha, Samu, man. Samu just doesn't want to give Milan the credit I think it deserves. That's why I said that we should go for players like Tomori and Theo. We can't afford build up Theo. That's just how things work right now. Samu says, yeah, football has changed, my friend. I'm not talking about the fact that nowadays athleticism is the most important thing, but the fact that before we were a team filled of stars, not now.
Oh, I found the guy, man. The 17 years old. It's called Kate Cowell.
Okay, Kate Cowell.
I haven't heard of him yet.
I saw some videos of him. He's really good. 17 years old from the United States.
Nice.
Good talent. The value is really cheap, $1 million or something like that.
Yeah, there was a time when I read an article that like Milan was like scouting the guy Reynolds, the guy that Roma got. From what I've seen from him, doesn't look that good, but it's his first time playing in Europe, so I mean, I think he can only improve, and a lot of it's worth looking into the United States. It's getting better and better.
Well, right now, the United States is definitely producing a good amount of players that are capable of playing in big teams, which is the first time in forever.
But are we already nurturing one young striker, Roback, who's in our Primavera? And we got the guy from our left back.
Roback is from Sweden, I believe, right?
Yeah, but the same approach. I mean, we got someone young and we're nurturing him. So how many more of those guys do we need?
I watch a lot of Primavera, and there's a player who plays for our U18s, and he's starting to get some Primavera game time. His name is like Ngabesso or something. I think he was born in Africa, but he has Italian citizenship. He looks really good. He's a number 9. He's not the tallest, but he scores a lot of goals. So he's young. He's like 17 or 18. So pretty cool.
Nice. MLS let's see. Pep David says Pep would be interested in coming after players like Tonali, Benasser, Calabria, etc., become elite in a couple of years. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. These players look like they're going to become Sammy, these players are on their way to becoming elite players, man. You're going to celebrate a lot because of these players coming up. Eastbourne says MLS have changed recently. They're getting young players from South America and abroad, or developing their youth system and selling from a decent money to European clubs. That's a good strategy. Khalid says Mahrez is old. Mike also says
he's like 28, 27. That's perfectly fine for Milan.
Oh yeah, that's not old at all. That's not old. Mike also says I think that was talking about Gianluca Buzio. But I guess
no, it's not him.
Sami says, sadly, I'm a supporter that keeps very attention on the financial aspect. Also, no way we can buy top world players. No, we're not going to buy. Maybe if there's a top world class player that can come up with some kind of deal, because a lot of times, we've gone through these transfer markets where it's like, no, nobody's coming, no, nothing is going to happen, and then all of a sudden the next day we have a big player coming in. Maybe. We got to see what happens. Guys, we got to close in 10 minutes, or at least I have to close in 10 minutes. Lard, if you want to keep on staying.
No, I have to go as well. It's midnight here in Europe.
I have to close in 10 minutes, guys, but let's keep on going, and then let's
I like this comment a lot. Rafinha is a great right winger, and Matas Pereira is actually like a good attacking midfielder. And I think Premier League players are very interesting, like Tomori. Like they play really fast, so it's worth considering getting some Premier League players.
Yeah.
No, but what I like is the mechanism that the Premier League is offering with the loan option to buy. It seems to be a lot. Maybe it's a lot easier to get from Premier League than maybe from Real Madrid again or Barcelona.
Yeah, with Tomori, I was like, oh, at first Milan is gonna pay 30 million for a defender, but then once I saw him playing like this, and if we secure Champions League, now it's pretty much like, yeah, we're gonna pay him. So that's really.
When I saw the price
we
tag,
have to
I knew
pay.
he was good. It's just the consistency, I think, was the question.
Yeah, he's very dedicated. Like most of the games he's consistent. He's had like 2 bad games, but yeah, he's very interesting.
Guys, let me ask you something about Brahim Diaz. Are you prepared to pay like 30 to 40 million, which is what Real is gonna ask for, or are you gonna go for another player and pay less, considering the transfer money that we have?
I know Real asked 22 million at the beginning of the season. They're not going to ask 30, 40 million. It's too late. They already put a price. So 24 million.
So it's like
What is it?
the price is set?
It's
Yeah.
34?
24, between 22 and 24 million is Brahim Diaz.
I heard that Real Madrid. Well, that the price isn't set in stone. Like there's no option, so it's whatever Real Madrid decides, basically. So they can change it. I think that's what's the concern.
But isn't it also important how many installments that you got to pay it off? Maybe it's this amount of money and pay it immediately. Whereas with some players, maybe a bit more, but you can spread it out.
No chance AC Milan is going to pay more than 25 million for Brahim Diaz.
Madrid is going to be very cautious because of what happened with Teo. So they're going to try to, if they see that Diaz is really good and has potential, they're going to definitely try to
I am kind of worried about that, to be honest with you. I'm kind of worried about that because already they didn't want to let him go, and they're just sending him out to get his experience. And I think I'm hoping that Real Madrid doesn't want to rely on this player, and I'm hoping that Milan can get him. All right, guys, I do have to close in a very short while, but let's just finish these comments. Milan needs to change the Primavera coaching team. They aren't helping in developing the youth. Players need a good coach team to bring up Primavera players into the senior team and to help them develop. Samu says, yeah, Flaga, okay. These are inside conversations are going in. Inside conversations. Madrid is in big trouble. All right, guys, listen, let's close it up. Everybody, give me your last word. Let me know what
we gotta talk. We should have talked about Hauge and Vlahovic, but it's fun. Another day.
We have next week. I mean, so I think we're doing the watch along on Sunday, and I believe. Yeah, tomorrow, guys, I'm going to put out the video for the tactical analysis against Cagliari, and I think we're going to have a review coming up from Ari for Sunday. Monday, we might have a live again. Then, obviously, next week, in preparation to the last game, we're going to have a lot of lives. But any last words, guys? Let's one at a time. Saif, you go first.
Just a quick word on Hauge. If in case the game is gonna be comfortable and we're gonna do well in the game, I really hope that Pioli plays him the last few minutes. Maybe because the couple last games of the season, I would really love for him to see him play because I like seeing Hauge play. I think he adds something different to what we have. Other than that, the player should be careful against Cagliari. I expect a high-scoring game, like 3-2, because I think nerves are gonna hit the players a bit, and maybe I hope not. Maybe we're gonna make a couple of mistakes, but yeah, I think we will win. But it's not gonna be easy. It's never gonna be easy. That's my opinion.
Nice. I like that. Let's see, Hansu, what's up? What about you? What are your last comments, last words?
Okay, firstly, sorry, I didn't mention it earlier, but Eid Mubarak to everyone. Eid Mubarak to you to Safe. I saw your comment earlier. Sorry, I forgot to mention it back. Eid Mubarak to everyone. And about the Hauge situation, I think with a lot of the young players, we definitely need to build up the teams that are going to be, okay, what's our core team for Coppa Italia? What's the core team for Champions League? What's our core team for Serie A? I think this is the only way to manage expectations about where we're going to how far we're going to go. If we don't do this, then it's just going to be a mixture of fielding whatever players that we have. which may be a mess.
I like that idea of managing a team. You know, having your core team for one competition, your core team for the other competition. It's an interesting idea. I like that. Antonio, what are your last words?
Yeah, I just want to say, I'm happy with where we are in the season. I think, like I said, I'm very big on like the objective of the season, and our objective is top 4. We're in a good position. This game will be hard, but if we win, everything should work out unless something crazy happens. And Pioli should stay, and for now, and I'm excited to see what the Champions League will change with this team, like how new players will come in. So I'm very positive with the future.
Nice. All right, Leo, take it home.
Well, Forza Milan, and I'm pretty positive. I think Inter is gonna kill it from Saturday, so Sunday is gonna be a party from breakfast until late night.
Guys, let's hope that Sunday we all party together. Hey, for good luck.
And if Inter doesn't kill it Saturday, it just shows what a bunch of losers they are, basically. So it just shows how bad they are as a club, as an entire thing. Because that's it.
Are you guys going to buy the new jersey with the Champions League badge?
Yeah?
Are you going to buy the new jersey with the Champions League badge?
No, I'm not buying the new jersey. I don't like it. I personally don't like it. It looks ugly. I'm buying the one of this season because it's an historical one. Because we made it in Champions League again. So I want to remember this tough season. It's going to be the season of the coronavirus, the season of going back to Champions League, the tough season, Ibrahimovic. Yeah, I'm buying that one for sure.
And it is such a great shirt. It's such a beautiful shirt.
Yeah, it's classic, minimal. Just that's how it's supposed to be AC Milan.
Guys, one time just for good luck. Yes, that's what we want to see. We want to see them lift up that trophy. All right, guys. So we got Cagliari coming up the weekend. It could be the game that defines the whole season. And I hope to see everybody there with us, joining us on our live along. Oh, right. Just before we go, have you seen my new Inter shirt?
Exactly.
What are they doing?
It looks like something like a male stripper would wear before, doing whatever they do.
Oh, man. What's wrong with marketing in Milan, man? They're doing awful.
They had to pay extra for that. To wear that.
I hope it's a joke. Like the snake skin one, that's that one.
That's really bad, man. That's really bad. I heard some Inter fans, they are really upset. They think it's really ugly.
I would be upset too.
Man, I'm not even saying because I don't like Inter. It's just it's bad as a shirt.
No, nothing can top the red and black stripes for me. So, just special.
Right. All right, guys. Thank you so much for everybody for joining. We will see you next time. Arrivederci, ciao. Sempre, per sempre. Forza Milan.
Roy,
ciao.
Roy, one quick question. Is there a Discord that you guys have?
We do have a Discord.
No, if you want to run one, go for it.
We should find a way so we can all chat like when there's no streams. Cool.
There you go. I like that. Antonio, if you want to do it, go for it.
If you want to be in charge of the Rossoneri Discord,
I'll look into that.
I think we do have a Discord. Actually, the Discord should be in the link to the Discord should be in our in the description below. It's just that we haven't gotten to use it yet, and it's a good idea. We should definitely open that up.
Right.
But anyway, guys, I really do have to go. So everybody, thank you very much. Forza Milan a tutti. Thank you for everybody. Thank you for everybody for being here, everybody in chat, and everybody and you guys that joined us, Saif, Hansu, and Antonio. Laert, are you going to be part of the watch along? Are you going to see? You don't know yet?
I have to tell you, Sunday. I mean, probably if Inter wins Saturday, I'm gonna come with a massive beer and celebrate. Already drunk during the watch along.
All right, nice.
Let's go.
I am probably going to miss part of the first half. But anyway, guys, we shall see you on Sunday. Thank you. Ciao. Arrivederci.
Ciao.
Goodbye. Forza Milan.